Another one. Oh, Panthen found a home for
Call it, because he has a good moment, but then Third has a good moment. Yeah, from both fighters. But you got to dig deep. That was a common deep body shot.
And he is digging deep. It's Jordan, the Patriot Panthen!
What's up, everybody? We're back again this week. It's not just the Gen Z3, though. We have a very special guest, our new friend, Jordan Panthen, the Patriot, signed by Golden Boy Promotions. He's here in the flesh, talk about Rocky with us. How you doing, Jordan? Great having you here, man.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, guys. This is gonna be great. Let's do it. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. How you boys doing? You doing good, Luke? Ty? You ready?
Doing great.
How'd it feel watching Rocky again today, boys? Feel pretty good.
It's just an everyday thing for me. I love it. It's my favorite movie ever.
It's just, it's iconic. Like, I think we were talking about it while we watched it, but top 3 most inspirational. Like, it's just such a great movie.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. So what we're going to do today, everybody, is we're going to focus on the first Rocky for about, I don't know, maybe the first quarter of the stream, and then we're going to be getting into the entire series as a whole. And Jordan here, I mean, this is a serious American pro boxer here who I'm really excited to hear his perspective about the Rocky series, because I know you and I, we've been talking about Rocky and the influence it's had on your career. Definitely excited to hear about that. But also, a lot of people, poke fun at the Rocky films a little bit because of, a lot of the choreography in the ring. And I think it doesn't take anybody too experienced to see that. But to be able to hear your thoughts in particular is going to be really exciting. Before we get into the film, though, Jordan, we were just talking about this behind the scenes. I was introduced to Jordan on his recent fight against Curiel, Raul Curiel, and you came in as kind of a last place replacement, right? Wasn't that like a week's notice or something like that?
No, a day.
A day's notice? Wow. Dang. So
Rocky got 5 weeks.
That's right. 5 weeks is still crazy. 1 day is batshit crazy. And you gave him the work, man. And something I was telling you and behind the scenes is that I really respect your patriotism towards America, because, we have a lot of American fighters that are, Mexican Americans, whatever else, and nobody really seems to care that much about America. We see all of these great European boxers who get the limelight more than anybody else nowadays, and they all love their countries. They talk about their countries. They wear their country's flags. They're super flamboyant, and I love that. Good for them. But we don't see that here in America. So good for you, sir, for bringing that light here, because it seems like it wouldn't even be that difficult showing the American flag. It's what we all want to see. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for me, it's just another day. I mean, it comes natural to me. I mean, like, we're not playing for a team or, organization or whatnot. We're representing ourselves, our family, our friends, and our country. That it comes down to. And that, again, spoke earlier, this is why every other country does it. It's not like uncommon to do it. Like, again, Argentina, Mexico, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Paris, England, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Germany, Saudi Arabia, the list goes on and on and on and on. They represent their countries and their flags. It's like 9 times out of 10. It almost happens every time. And for American fighters, it's like 1 time out of 10. It's just me. You know what I mean? Like, before me, who really did it? Like Tommy Morrison, the 90s. So we're talking 30 plus years ago. Before that, I don't even know. But, like, it's not, I mean, it's happened in little bursts. I mean, I can think of some fighters in past Olympians who've done it, 1 here, maybe 1 there. I can think of guys in 2012 Olympian team he fought. I think, that Russian, Artur Beterbiev, he fought him in Russia. I think it was Marcus Brown. And he wore the shorts. But again, that's only 1 night. So I do it every single time I fight. And that's just me. I've been doing it again since the amateurs. My very first fight is 15 years old. I did it. American flag trunks, American flag headgear. I've done it nonstop. And you even see that when I returned to boxing at National Golden Gloves in 2021. I was the only person there doing it. And I did that in Hawaii. And so I lived with the high school, and they didn't really like that much there either. They didn't like me. They don't really like white people out there. That's a thing. It is what it is. Okay. Yeah. Being blonde hair, blue eyes made it worse for me. And then wearing American flag made it worse. Okay, but, I wasn't going to back down. I really didn't care what people would think. So I do as I do. So, I mean, that's the attitude I always had. There's nothing new to me. I'm not very common in this sport. There's only like one of me. You can't think of another fighter who does anything remotely to me. So I'm like a giraffe running around with, all these other animals. I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. So I mean, but it's nothing new to me. This is how it's been. I think it's how it should go. And I'm here to inspire maybe another young kid coming up or generation. So I mean, that's what I'm here to do. And that's a big part of my boxing journey, not just fighting. It's that.
Well, you know what? I think Oscar De La Hoya, I love what he's doing with Golden Boy. I've been to I haven't been to too many of those like big cards in person. I went to the one Duarte's last bout in Chicago because I'm not that far away from Chicago. I'm from Ohio. And I just love the respect that De La Hoya has for America. And then you just being part of that, it just makes so much sense. So that's really cool.
It does that. I mean, like, Oscar, I'm signed with Oscar. I love Oscar. He's the only American promoter that really aligned, I think, to the where boxing going. Everyone fighting the best and whatnot. He was an Olympian. He was a great Hall. I mean, all that Mexican American. So that's the thing. He's proud of his heritage. Okay. And he's proud to be American. I mean, John Wayne has a famous song. You would say it's more of him talking, but it's a song called The Hyphen, and it's like Mexican American, African American, American. Like, we're all Americans. If we can unite on one thing, what's the only thing we can unite on? You can't unite about your favorite food dinner dish or this. Every culture different. The only one thing you can unite around is the American flag. That is the only thing. That's the only way it's gonna work. For bad or for good, negative. There's bad stuff happen. There's good stuff that happens. There's great stuff happen with it. But no matter what angle you go, that's the one thing everybody can unite around. That's the only thing, and then people have to understand that. So it's like, instead of get the hyphen out of there, we're all this is part of it too. That's what I do. I'm not really political. I don't say statements in the media like that. I try to lead by example, and that's how it kind of always been. Yeah,
that's the way to do it. And something I love. Obviously on here we talk about movies every week. We visit a lot of cult classics, and Rocky is one of a kind. Obviously, we haven't talked about really any inspiring tales like Rocky, except maybe Field of Dreams. That was probably the most recent example of that. But it's definitely it's an enlightening tale that so many people can relate to, and it honors America, right? It honors the American dream, and that's something that, geez, is just so lost in film. And growing up, like, as we are young witnesses, we're Gen Z. A lot of people can't stand Gen Z, and we don't blame them, especially people in this sphere. They don't like Gen Z. And we notice, like, I think we don't get, like, this generation doesn't get a lot of credit because, we buy into a lot of the garbage, PC crap, whatever else. And, we want good, upstanding male role models. And we want leading men that stand up to the plate, that stand up against injustice. And that's what you do. And that's what I find so many great boxers do. And they're real men that act like men, that are men, that are brave, that are compassionate. And that's a reason why I've gone into boxing in particular the last 5 years, is because film has completely ditched that concept. And as you probably see, it's like, can you think of a film in the last 5 years other than Sound of Freedom that's given us a strong male lead that we can aspire to be? Nothing's come to mind here.
On the spot, no, but I'm sure I could find something to tread the water, but I can't think of on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, first thing that comes to my mind is Tombstone, but that was from 1990, 1991 or something like that. So that's not even close. But I'm sure I can think of something close.
That's the
But I
problem,
get your
right?
point, but definitely I got to think about it. Yeah.
No, you're good. That's just the problem, and that's why we're visiting all these old films, is because it lies in those in the past. It's not a present thing, unfortunately. And you know what? If you think about it, young audiences, they grow up watching these movies and they don't have those role models. I think a lot of people, if they don't see something in the theater, then they're probably not watching movies at home. They're probably, they see what's in the theater and that's their entertainment consumption when it comes to films. Now, not all families are like this, but I think this is the majority. So it's really sad that it's come to this point, and boxing is definitely standing up against that, which is awesome. It's great. But obviously we're talking about Rocky here. We're going back in time to 1976, right? I mean, or is it 76 or 86?
The first one,
76.
No, 70 for sure.
76. Geez, that's a long time. It's crazy.
Right.
What is your experience with the Rocky franchise, Jordan? How has it like impressed or influenced your career? Because I know you're a huge fan of the films.
I am a huge fan. I honestly can't remember the first one. I can't remember pinpointing, but I know I used to do Ritual before a big tournament for a national tournament, National Golden Gloves, or a fight weekend for a fight of mine. I used to watch the 6 movies in a row. So say the fight's on Saturday, I would start, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, watch one a night, literally leading up to fight week. That's what I used to do all the time. As a kid through my high school years, whatnot. Every repeat it was like ritual, it was a tradition. Like I could not miss it. I watch Rocky movie, Rocky 2, Rocky 3. I don't do that anymore. It's a lot of time spent behind the TV. I'm not behind the TV that much. I've been training at now more tired, but I used to do that. And I mean, who does? Okay, if anybody has watched the Rocky movies at least once, we've watched the scene a lot of times. But if you it has to be at least one time where maybe you're having fun or maybe you drank a little or whatnot, but you're cheering on Rocky. It's like hit him, hit him. Like, we've all been there at least once. I mean, the Rockies inspired they give you goosebumps, and the choreography and whatnot. I think we talked about earlier before we went live, but like, yeah, the choreography's not great. But what boxing movie is? It's very hard. Modern movies aren't that good. Like I think of something I watched recently, Roberto Duran. It's from 2022 to 23. Not a bad movie, but the boxing choreograph is not good, and that's from recent. So we see that about a lot. I mean, look at I love The Fighter, but Mickey Ward's doing this mitt hitting scene, and come on, it's not real. It's not real. So I mean, but that's actors. I mean, it's like part of it. Like that's like. Unless you find a fighter who can play the role exactly how the director wants it, you know what I mean, or someone with that background. But it's not bad. I mean, I think a lot of some newer movies are not good compared. I prefer the Rockies way better in their fight scene. I think it was really good, especially for the time. Some of the material comes out now. I mean, I don't know. I still like I haven't watched anything recent, but I'm thinking Foreman really that good? The boxing, the fighting. So I mean. For its time, I think it was really good. I still enjoy it, but also I enjoy all movies. I enjoy westerns and whatnot, so that's part of it too. But I think it's still a great movie. And I think the boxing scenes are still great. Give you the goosebumps and whatnot. Who cares if you know what's happening? Who's seen Harry Potter 1,000 times? I'm sure there's Harry Potter fanatics out there. I'm sure there's Lord of the Rings fanatics are out there. I'm sure they love watching it over and over again.
Sure, yeah,
That's true.
I guess you know what? There's just like so much magic in the Rocky franchise outside of the choreography too. I mean, it's like everything. These aren't even like. Especially the first one, because I'm gonna like just kind of break down the first one a little bit, then we'll get into it. It's more of a drama than anything else. I mean, boxing is such a small hint in the first one. I mean, most of the time we're just spending the duration getting to know Rocky and see this world, this 1976 the ecosystem, the life of the average American male at this point in Philly. So I don't know. It's interesting. Boxing is we just get a little hint of it towards the end, but these are like cult classic boxing films. And, you named a few boxing movies there, but like, I try to wonder if there's been like a solid modern like interpretation. And
the most
really
solid modern thing I can think of or semi-modern is The Fighter, but that's from 2010.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong, but the 2010, maybe 2011. I thought it was 2010. That's modern. That's the best. One I think is I'm really I gotta think. Southpaw. No, I love Jake Gyllenhaal, but no. I mean, it was not there. It was still a good movie, but no. I thought The Fighter was the best thing modern wise, better than anything in the last 10 years too.
Yeah, we don't get too many, and it's kind of sad. It disappoints me how many people have shifted their focus to UFC instead of boxing. And that's where I give you a lot of credit, man. I love the pressure you apply when you fight. I really enjoy just going through your footage because, boxing always gets dogged on for people that, for boxers that just run around the ring. And I respect the craft. Like, I don't care. Let anyone do what they have to do. I'm entertained. I enjoy it. I wait for the popping moments. But man, you keep that pressure going. And you're the exact formula. You're the formula people want to see when they turn on fighting. So good for you. Because a lot of people, they criticize boxing because it's not that way.
Yeah, they say there's never a boring Jordan Panthen fight, and that's true. You should see all my sparring sessions would sell on TV. My sparring sessions are all fun to watch. And back at Brick House in California, used to have crowds come just to watch me spar and whatnot. But yeah, I totally agree with you. You can box and be exciting, but too many boxers don't engage. There's a difference. They can't get. They don't risk engaging because when you risk engaging too much, you're risking getting hit yourself. You live in the inner zone, so they can do one here, do one there, and not get hit. The win rounds nice and easy. So that's the difference between that's like not boxing. You can box and be exciting. You show skills. I think people should. I believe in that, but that's not now. I have boxing skills. A lot of coaches over the years try to get me to box more and not do what you love. I just can't help myself. That's the problem. I like to fight. That's just that is that. So I try to use my boxing skills to make it a fight. I cannot help myself. They've tried to switch me, my brain, and rewire me. It has not worked. I like to fight, and I don't know. That's how I've been since I started boxing. I was a very aggressive kid. I mean, it just clicked. I haven't changed. Yeah, it's hard for me to do. So. Yeah.
Hey, that's good ingenuity, right? Just be engineered that way.
Passion of the sport.
Hell yeah, exactly. Well, let's get into the first movie real quick. I'm just going to give a little background for people that might need a refresher with the very first Rocky film. You know, back in 1976, like we talked about, there really isn't that much boxing in this one. You know, most of the time we focus on learning who Rocky is, right? His humble beginnings, the introduction of Rocky Balboa. And man, humble beginnings they are. I mean, you see the squalor that he lives in, and it's kind of sad to see how a lot of people, you know, this is the average low-income household in America, and you see it through our main hero here, and he doesn't have very many things going on in his life, unfortunately. He's kind of drifting. You know, his boxing coach Mick, he's seen promise in him over the years, but he's given up after years of disappointments. He doesn't really have very many friends. He doesn't have any family members. You know, his only friend is Paulie, which is, you know, kind of a loser and doesn't do him much good. Unfortunately, that relationship, it doesn't lead to much until, you know, his career starts picking up. And then he, you know, throughout this movie, we also watch him form a relationship with Adrian, of course. Adrian. And, you know, it's definitely a atypical, you know, story of courtship through those two. That's also a big portion of this film. And, you know, she's obviously the shy, awkward pet store clerk who gradually falls for him. It's a strange courtship, but, you know, it stands alone and it works. You know, everything about this movie just feels authentic. And, you know, even though he's like drifting through life, this big opportunity comes for him, where he gets to face Apollo Creed in this opening for the championship, world championship, which I believe it is a ring belt as well. At least in the second one, they showed like the ring belt and it said ring. So I assume the first film was alluding to that as well. Yeah, so pretty exciting there. And, you know, of course, this props Rocky up. At first, he's sort of, you know, on the fence about doing it, but he ends up getting egged into it by Mick. His relationship with Adrian grows and she becomes a motivating force for him, and he takes him on. And this is really an impossible challenge that he has to rise up to and conquer on the spot with very little prep time. And I'm definitely excited to hear about like conditioning and the like training camps from your perspective, Jordan, because, you know, we go through so many different you know, training camps, training montages through these Rocky films. Yeah. And I can't imagine there's that many similarities to your experience. So we'll save that for a little later. But what did you guys think this first Rocky film does exceptionally well at compared to the rest of the series?
The underdog, rising up the underdog, you know, showing what he's working with. He's working with like no family, like you said, no friends. It's just complete heart, you know, and desire to win and do it. And that's, you know, Jordan, you know all about that. I mean, you just train hard and must have a lot of heart. So.
Yeah, no, the first movie is, you know, a lot of people think it's the best one. You know, a lot of people always think that the franchises that it's always the best one. But it's a great movie. It shows insight. I mean, it shows insight to that time and the huge Italian American community there, and it was bigger than it was then than it is now. And you see them rally around basically their guy, their hope, you know, to do something. Like they all rally around him and whatnot. And one thing that's imprinted in me through literally till this day, training and whatnot, is when he's sprinting. What do you always do? He always sprints the end up the stairs to where the monument is in current day Philly. But you sprint the stairs. The kids behind him, he sprints the stairs, always ends and run. So as on me is always sprint the last 30 seconds in the boxing gym. So if anybody knows, then when that last round comes and sparring and whatnot, it's shits. My output goes up. I up my output 30, 40 punches in that round alone compared to other rounds. It's intense, you know. Last round, best round. That's the motto. Last round, best round. It's like that Rocky mindset. Like I'm gonna sprint to the finish. I'm gonna go even harder. I'm tired. I should be tired. It's the last round of the fight. I'm gonna go the hardest right now in the last round of the fight. like the sprinting the stairs. So, I mean, and, you know, and that's what's one difference between me and Rocky. So Rocky's from one place alone, representing a community. They all rally around him. You know, that's why I try to be from not one place but America. Like I moved all over. I'm from a small town in New York. Moved to Hawaii. Went to high school there when I was 13 years old. Before I started high school. I've been outside. I'm from a small little town in Coltsville, New York, but didn't have generation ties there. It's me, my original family lived there. Anyways, I haven't lived there since 13 years old, so they don't really accept me. They don't draw towards me. I'm totally away from that community for a long time. Hawaii, I know I have a lot of good friends there and family, and people who know me will follow me, but Hawaii as a whole will never follow me because I'm white, because I'm Hawaii. I know that is fact, and it's okay. So then since then I moved around when I wasn't boxing. So that's why I can't call a place home. That's why the last announcer didn't do it, but I told him to. He didn't do it. When you announce me, just say I'm from the United States of America. I'm not from Poughkeepsie, New York. That's where I was born. I'm even from there, but I'm not from Hawaii. Because they've announced different things over the years. I'm just from USA because I don't. I have lived. I lived New York, Virginia, Colorado, Arizona, California, Hawaii, now Texas. I lived Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, West Coast, Pacific Islands. I've kind of touched, but that's not even including traveling, but living and touching all these different parts of America, cities, country, redneck country, you know, nobody town, small town USA, big city, the DMV, multicultures area, the Pacific Islands. I kind of almost dabbled in a lot of different regions around the states, let alone traveling in and out. And that's why I also love this country so much. I love my father served 4 years in the military, but that's another reason why I traveled so much. Travel is experience. So living places and then traveling in the USA, and then also traveling outside USA, seeing differences. And I feel like a lot of people, and I'm blessed to be able to travel through my young age and youth and going up and moved around. Because at the time I didn't think, but now I know it's all knowledge. It's all knowledge and life experience, the best experience. And I feel people have a lot of different opinion around the world if they traveled more. I can only imagine if I stayed in my small little hometown of 70 kids per grade in a public school. So at the public school, 70 kids per grade, small little town, Coltsville, New York. I can only imagine how I would think differently, not leaving there and whatnot. So, yeah.
Cool, man. Respect. Yeah, you're from all over the place. Yeah, you know, I just like that. I like that. You know, you're from America. You're not from here. You're not from there. You know, people get away with kind of like undercutting American, being the American boxer. Yeah, I appreciate you don't do that.
Yeah, and back to Rocky. I mean, it's just an awesome training scenes. I mean, hitting the meat and stuff like that. I've never done that. No, and it is so cool. With a slab of meat down a cow, and beat the shit out of this cow. Like that's fucking cool, bro. Like, come on, like you get a side of meat, and I get to punch the shit out of it. That looks fun to do. If I had a side of meat right here, I would definitely take a swing at it. That'd be fun, man. And I mean, the training montage, that's what you live for. I mean, more than a fight, you want to see the training, get your blood flowing, the goosebumps going. Like, shit, I'm gonna bop down, do some fucking push-ups right now. You know, that's what it feels like. So it's iconic, dude. I mean, that music's been used forever. I mean, it's like solidified. It's like it'll live on forever, and it will always be good. I don't care. 100 years from now, they have some. I don't even know stuff we can't even imagine making movies. It still be good.
Well, yeah, you know what? I think that's what's special about Rocky 2, and especially in this movie, is they establish such a real, grounded man who has faults and challenges too. You know what I mean? He's very real. That's where it's like, you know, modern Hollywood really suffers, giving us, you know, authentic humans in their films. You know, they'll give you a character, but they don't give you a person, a human with layers, right, and complexities, and we see all of those things, and we see that this is a man with, you know, doubts, fears, and insecurities, and that's good. You know, that makes us, you know, more on board to root him on to be victorious, right? Because, you know, a lot of other people, you know, all of his other, you know, Apollo Creed isn't really this way, nor any of the other guys. They don't reveal those hidden secrets that we get to see while we watch this movie. And, you know, a lot of this movie, he's pretty vulnerable, and we see him in a vulnerable space, especially, you know, when he has like those one-to-one dialogues with Adrian, kind of disclosing that, you know, he's not in the perfect place at this moment. And, you know, of course, she's a motivating voice for him, which we all need. And I think what's also special about this that stands out against the other films is it's a good romance. You know, I think it's a great, interesting courtship we see between the two of them. You know, it's definitely, I haven't seen another film that does it like this. You know, Luke and I, we were talking while watching it. It's like, if you played this, like if this was made in modern day, he would get in trouble for the way he acted, modern blah blah blah. And it's like, you know what? It worked back in time here, and she ended up falling for him despite that. And I think it's interesting how this movie was able to not dance around boxing, but it was just, it's just a soulful story of an American man going through, life troubles that we've all been through, right? It's such a relatable character surrounded by other relatable characters. Adrian, she's nothing special. She's the kind of person you look past when you're in a store or, at a library, wherever else. And she becomes an important voice in Rocky's life. And that's pretty special to see that as we ourselves have those moments where we make a connection with somebody and they end up making a big difference in our lives. It's like that with Ty. Ty and I used to work together a long time ago when we were both really young. And just through that little thing, we've been friends ever since. We've been friends for like 10 years, Ty. It's been a long time.
If not more. Yeah. It's like 10 or 12.
Exactly. It's weird. It's just weird how those kinds of things work.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you guys think it is about Rocky's character and like his situation in life that makes him so inspirational?
He's coming from nothing. He has no education. He doesn't even, not to mention he doesn't know how to read, like with no education. He's starting from the bottom. He's on rock bottom, and he's just giving it his all. Working his love life. He's continuing to fight in clubs. Small clubs with no recognition at all, and then he just keeps at it. And I love that.
He's trying to live his life. Like that's what I really like pulled from this whole movie. Like, regardless of all the fights or anything like that, like he's just trying to live his life. He's making money from his boxing. He's making money from his like collector business or whatever. And that's all he needs. Like he's just trying to make his living. He's just trying to get on without failing. And I think that's very noble.
Yeah.
Like, I really appreciate that. Like, he's just trying to do everything he can to afford what he needs.
Day.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a boxer. He's a great boxer, but he's very unrecognized and all that kind of stuff. Like, we see this in the movie. He's fought 64 times.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And still, like, he's just like this nobody. Like, he's doing everything he can to survive, and yet he's getting, like, undershot in every... Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get any respect from Mick in the gym, and it's like he unfortunately doesn't have anybody... He doesn't have anybody close to him to support him either.
He doesn't get any support from Nick until he's about to fight Apollo Creed. And then Nick's all over his ass.
What do you think, Jordan? You look like you have something to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows a lot of great values in the movie. I mean, think about it. Like, you got a guy, again, he said not the smartest, doesn't talk the best, so not the smartest, but, humble guy, wasn't doing bad stuff, wasn't in trouble with police, wasn't going clubbing, just working, training hard, not the fastest fighter, not the biggest fighter, not the best in shape, but he trained hard, and, he had that heart, and he could punch hard, and he come at you, and not the best skill, but he put it on, put it out there. So I think it shows a lot of values of, like, basically work hard, be humble, bet on yourself, like all these things, like I think are missing from most popular society today shows right then and there. Good role models, good values, and I think that's what the movie shows too, especially in the first movie alone, because it's less boxing, or it takes a while to get to the boxing. Yeah, rather than the movie start off right with it.
Gosh, don't you love an encouraging display of values? That's why I love. Somehow it always comes up in conversation. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, I'm a big fan of those. I love those. I think those show pure virtue so many times over and over again. I think that's for me, the only true superhero movie example of that. And Rocky's full of that, like you said. And I think, I appreciate, because I'm Catholic and Christian, and his faith in here is also one of those aspects that defines who he is. It defines his momentum and his motivation to continue forward too. And they do such a good job at like not pushing it necessarily, but gently interweaving it into the story as a tool to give him momentum to move forward even more. So yeah, definitely there's a lot going on with him. And he's like, I can't think of like another big movie character that's above him, like motivation wise. You have like the classic, like the 80s like action heroes. You got Schwarzenegger, you got Stallone, you have Bruce Willis, and then you can think of like a ton of other, Kevin Costner. I wouldn't call him the same, but you have all of these like American icons. But Stallone, I think it's like Stallone and Mel Gibson. I think both of them are kind of in the same level for me for like posing a lot of those like strong, virtuous male leads in films. But yeah, he's definitely a standout in this.
Rocky takes the cake. Rocky takes the cake, but there's a lot of the great ones. Reason one takes the cake. There's 6 of them. The originals at least takes the cake. Like Mel Gibson, the Patriot. That gets me going. Hence my name.
Oh yeah,
we were soldiers or what I see people go through.
That's a great one.
It's also different. It's not sports. It's military war, and also the one-offs. This is like a whole franchise of like this. You know what I mean? So like a lot of other individual great ones, but like I think you gotta put Rocky the pedestal for sure.
Well, yeah, if you're talking about franchises, Rocky's like the only one. Then these are all one-offs that we're taling about. Kevin Costner,
and it's not like one good movie and they all suck. I mean, like the first 4. I mean, arguably argue about all those things. So that's a good amount right there.
Yeah.
So and the 5 and 6 are still good. So, but I think the first 4, I mean, every single one was like people argue 4 is the best, 2 is the best, 1 the best. I'm like all across the board, 1's the best. Like think about other stuff like Shrek or Ice Age, 1 the best, and then it goes downhill slowly. It's not the same in Rocky. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Only thing you just talk about is maybe Lord of the Rings. One. We're all there. But Rocky, the first 4, specifically the first 4, are. We could argue right there. 5 and 6 are still good. I'm not saying 5 and 6 are awful. 5 and 6 is still good, but first 4 for sure. I mean, so that's another big part of it, I think.
Oh, definitely right. Like they keep it's a good steady line of quality with them.
Yeah, it sounds like a one-off.
Yeah, you can't count that with a lot of other franchises as well. Let's say I want to say hi to a few people in the chat. We got a few super chats. Thank you guys for supporting us and joining live. We appreciate you all. If you have any questions for Jordan here, feel free to send them in the chat. We'd be happy to answer them. Here's the first one. Mega Spidey Man. Good to see you, man. For £5. Is it pounds or euros? This is euros. I always say pounds. €5. He says, kudos on getting such a big guest. To all, Rocky aside, favorite Sly and boxing films and why? Well, for Stallone, it's like, this is it. Like nothing else really comes close to me.
I mean, the only thing is Rambo for sure.
Yeah,
Rambo and Rocky, but it's different. We got boxing, we got war and violence. So if it's me, I'm gonna choose the boxing. I like Rocky. If I had to pick one, you know what I mean. But I love the Rambos too. I mean, but they're not as good. I'll be honest. I love the Rambos, but I'll be honest. Like 1's good. 2, 3, both are okay. I mean, there's only first 3. I mean, originals. Oh, the 4th one in 2006 or whatnot.
Right.
And that was good, really gory and whatnot. But I'm gonna be real. It's not on par with the production of Rocky, but I still love the Rambos, and it's different too. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
We're talking about Sylvester Stallone specifically. Now, he also asked about boxing films. I gotta stick Rocky. But like close 2, 3s. I mean, I gotta pick The Fighter I love modern. If I had to watch a modern day boxing, The Fighter. I think that goes for sure right there. But
I need to see The Fighter still. I haven't seen too many boxing movies. I'd rather just watch the real thing because there's always so many cards nowadays, which is great. I don't know. Yeah, it's gotta be Rocky. Of all the Rocky movies, Rocky 2 definitely takes the cake for me. I love the second one. I listened to 3 of them today while I was working here. And I watched 1. We sat down and watched that one. And 2, man, I was like, I just kept looking over it too. I couldn't help myself. It was, that's
that 2 is just it's technically an extended version of the first one, but Rocky didn't want, or Sly didn't want to you
Oh,
know, having a
really?
long 4-hour movie. So I just look at it as the same movie, honestly, same story.
I didn't know that, but that would explain his physique. That would explain because he's the same
Right. Yeah.
physique in the first two. The third one it changed. That would explain. But for
It's
me,
crazy
it's
the shift. Like he's like a totally different dude by
Well,
Rocky
because he got all
3.
that money from the first and second one, that he had all that money to train hard.
Yeah,
And
to cut up.
yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, I could argue 2-1, not 3. I think three is good. I don't think it's not a connection, but I gotta go 4, man. I just think the whole, Apollo dies. Apollo's a big character for the first 3 movies. His best friend. You love them together. He dies. Russia, America. It gets a blood flowing. And he goes to Russia. He's training in the fucking snow and shit. He's lifting fucking wood and rocks and shit, running fucking mountains in the snow. No support. Apollo's coach with him and just Adrian. It's like, I don't know, he fights whatever in some version of a boxing like capital in Russia, like the president there. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, shit's crazy. Shit's crazy. But the Cold War, you know what I mean? Like, for me, that takes the cake, but 1 and 2 for sure. I mean, I can hear an argument for that. That's just my side of it. Like, feeling 4 on that. I just like, this is insane. This is epic, and that gets the thing going. That's why Okay, how many people don't watch soccer, or people say the real football, but anyway, soccer, but watch the World Cup? I mean, I'm guilty to be one of them. The World Cup is awesome. And part of that is because it's like country, but it's healthy, competitive. It's just like a team or school versus school. It's country versus country. Like, patriotism over here. Everybody's fighting like rally around the country. It's like friendly competition between country, and it makes it more interesting. That's what I
Yeah.
look at it. Yeah.
Right
Oh,
on.
definitely. Yeah, you got to tune in at least for like the big stuff, right? And that's where boxing like gets that attention, right? When it's like the really big cards, like of course, everybody watches the Jake Paul fights, right? And then you have the Canelo Crawford card. That was like common. What is it? Water cooler talk. Everybody saw that. Everybody talks about the Jake Paul fights. I mean, respect to him for being able to garner that much attention, but that's misleading people. It's like, hello,
Yeah.
Jordan Panthen here. He's giving a great performance. Watch
right.
that instead. You don't need to watch this clown show. I don't know.
Yeah, and think about countries rallying around people. Like, America doesn't do it. That's just the bottom line. Like, last time America's rally around someone, like, now we're talking just purely boxing. Like, who knows? Maybe Ali. Like, I mean, it's maybe someone of the '80s when we had Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson. Was it literally the last time? Like one-offs. Like, really don't rally around as a country. The other countries do all the time. England. Look at England and Tyson Fury fight. You watch those entrances or Anthony Josh, those things are fucking epic.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Mexico always rallies around their champions, like Puerto Rico, like they rally around them, whatnot. In America, they don't do it down. Part of that is because there's so many effing sports here. Other countries, there's only a handful of sports. So that's one thing. Like the soccer, or there's this and that, is boxing. Here, there's like 1,000 fucking sports. And we have obviously the 4 mainstream sports: basketball, football, baseball, hockey. You know what I mean? Where they don't have any of that. Like, besides a few countries, Canada, Russia got hockey. Basketball's pretty big around, but still, it's like still on the size of the NBA, and there's less going on in boxing. But so that's just me. I mean, I would love to fight against a big dude from another country, fight in his hometown, and then walk out to Bruce Springsteen, "Born in the USA." I go fucking hype. That's my
Hell
first
yeah.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
When that day happens, I'm walking out to that song. That's it's gonna be what it is. I'm saving that
Wait,
walkout
so
song. For
so
that.
your primary weight class, you're 154 pounds, is that right? Like normally?
154, possibly 160. We don't know what the future holds.
Man, okay, 160. Is that middleweight?
Middleweight, yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. Middleweights, man. The middleweight divisions, it's pretty boring. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
definitely liven that up. I watched that. I was in San Antonio to see the Roach versus Cruz card, and you have Lara out there, and poor Lara. Everybody boos Lara. He's just he's so
Okay.
boring, but it's not that boring when you see it in person. But he gets so much crap. So yeah, you definitely liven that up. And then you had Janabek, of course, who got caught with PEDs, and now he's out of the picture. So I had
Didn't see that coming. I sparred a lot with John Beck for multiple fight camps. Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
That's
in
sweet.
California.
Dang, I bet he was a dog, wasn't he?
Yeah, we sparred. I forgot. I haven't looked at the paper to see what fights we sparred for, but we sparred maybe 3 camps. I helped him out with. After that, it was like I coming off a fight, or he was fighting another Sal or someone else. But 3 camps. it was good. We started off doing like 4s and 6s, and then I was a solo sparring. We were sparring 8-rounders, 10-rounders in the gym. It was great stuff. Definitely one of the best fighters I've been in with. If not, the U.S. is how he paced himself.
Man.
It's hard accountability, but I brought it to him. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I brought it to him. They were
Sure.
fun sparring sessions. Like I definitely had my days where I thought I edged him out and whatnot. So it was great work. I mean, I brought at him, talk smack and whatnot. Like he speak English. I talk all friendly though. Really nice guy. I mean,
Yeah.
to me. So I don't know anything about going on with him currently. I have nothing
Sure,
to
yeah.
but just me knowing him, he was nice to me, and we got along. And I talked in the ring because I do that. I get competitive. I talk. I don't nothing
Yeah.
bad. I'm not cursing. We're like you're respectful. Just like,
Yeah.
come on. Where you going when they're running away? Where you going? Come here. They're going. I'm like, come here. Where you going? Where you coming? Come on. Like I say something like that. I don't say "fuck you, bitch" or like that. So I keep it like keep respectful, and then afterwards, it's friends. Like I'm just like trying to compete. Sometimes it's strategy, but so fuck, I forgot where we were going with this middleweight, but
No, it's all good. Yeah, we're just talking about the weight class.
But I think because people will be more excited now. People will hit back at you when you say that, like, oh, like fuck exciting, fuck this, I'm here to win, like skills, like you don't know boxing, fuck you, like, bro. I hear that there's people out there, I can see the point of view, but it's not allowed. You can use your skills and still be exciting. That's my take. I'm not saying fight like an idiot and brawl and get into where I'm saying use your skills, but you can still be exciting with skills. And some fighters, have bad performances. That happens. It's when it's like another one. That's when it's they don't want all that. Okay, it happens. But and that's what I try to do. I mean, like I said, I told you earlier, I can't help it. I think other people can't do it. It's just. It's just I want to fight. I want to get skills and whatnot. But I'm like, end of the day, I'm trying to take your head off, and I hope, and I'm sure, and I'm betting in my head that you're trying to do the same thing to me. Even though deep down, I don't want to actually hurt you permanently, and you don't want to do it to me. But that's the mindset you got to have going in. I'm gonna try to take your head off. I mean, I'm not trying to win by decision of the cards, and that's the mentality I think is missing from the sport. I'm not trying to win by decision. I'm trying to put you down and keep you down. That's the goal when into the ring. The game plan always revolves around how do I get him out of there. That's always the goal. Now, of course, it doesn't always happen and whatnot, but that's the mindset going in.
A strong and powerful reputation is everything.
Yeah. Excuse me, I can put my dog out real quick.
No, you're good. You're good, man. Yeah, we'll get to a few more of the chats.
Right back.
No, your dog's funny, man. All right, here.
He's all in there.
Mega. Oh wait. Oh no, he's cool. Thanks for the super chat, Mega. We appreciate it. Hey, good evening, Rebel Rose. Good seeing you.
Rebel
Thanks
Rose.
for joining us again. It's not Gen Z reviews this week. It's a little different. So Proc File. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start streaming at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Next week, it's going to be different. It's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern time because Random Film Talk is joining us from, I think, like England or something like
6
that.
6 p.m.?
Yeah, it's going to be early. We'll figure it out.
Wow.
But, we're going to be
Next
talking
week?
about Alien next week. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool with Random
Alien
Film
Part
Talk
2.
and Kyle. So, yeah, that'll be cool. But thanks for being here, Procfile. And you also dropped a super chat, $2. So how'd you guys get in touch? We got to know. Yeah, so I watched his last fight against Raul Curiel. Great fight. He gave him some serious work, and I loved what I saw, and I hit him up on Instagram, and I just gave him my respects. I wasn't trying to like do anything, and he responded, and we had a nice a chat back and forth for a bit, and then I thought I'd ask if he'd want to come on and talk about this, and he did, and now here we are. So it's pretty cool. I appreciate him spending some time with us to talk about Rocky, and that was a great little pleasure. Came out of nowhere. I didn't think it'd happen, and here we are. So he'll be right back. He's just checking on his dog. Yeah, good question. Would you blame Mayweather for the shift in boxing strategy? Ooh, I bet he is a big problem because he's the undefeated guy. I think he made a lot of changes to the way boxers handle their legacy for this next generation. Definitely. You're not a big fan of Jake Paul. Yeah,
I'm right there with you, Procto.
Poor Jake. Yeah. I don't know. Jake, I respect Jake for a few different reasons. I think he's
too much talk.
He's one of those guys. He is one of those boxers that is pro-American, and he's happy to show that. That's something Jordan did mention. He is one of those, and I respect him for that because it's lacking severely. But I guess I could just start bringing up the next question here with Rocky.
You can, but I want to backtrack just one comment Jordan made when he comes back.
Okay. Well, okay, when he comes back.
Yeah.
Okay.
He mentioned Ali.
No, wait. Okay, so I guess we could just talk about this till then. What do you think would have happened if Adrian had not been a part of Rocky's life? How do you think that would have been? What kind of impact would that have made on his career and his future, especially this first movie?
That's a really good question because when he was going into the pet shop to give tell her all the bad jokes and everything, he showed no sign of intending to give up what he was already doing. She probably gave him a lot more heart, to not give up, to not fear anything, and to not beat himself down at all, because he was getting a little upset when he was by himself in his apartment. Towards the beginning of the movie, he was just staring off into the mirror at himself and just like contemplating what he's become. And I know she's really toughened him up and made him fearless and gave him that ability to never quit and keep going, the ambition.
Yeah, definitely. Ty, you got any thoughts? No. Everything
that I've wanted to say has been said already. So
nice. Well, yeah, I think Adrian, she's sort of that last line of defense of motivation for him. And poor Rocky. I mean, watching this again today, I was reminded that he's lonely. He really just doesn't have anybody in his life, and it's kind of sad. Like when he's alone in his like apartment. It's like a closet space. It's so small, and he doesn't own like anything. And he has these photos of his family on the wall that he looks at regularly, and they're not here. And he doesn't really have any friends. He only has Paulie, and he has Adrian, who is like barely a friend until like halfway to towards the end of the film here. So it's like, it's kind of sad to see him in this low place in the very beginning. And, this movie did such a great job at establishing where he was, the humble beginnings. And, if it wasn't for Adrian, the night before his fight with Apollo, she's the one that kind of gives him that extra boost, because even just having somebody to talk to about something important is a game changer, right? He was telling her about how he was uneasy. What am I doing here? He had his doubts, and she was there just to listen, and she didn't say much, but she gave him that extra oomph that he needed to perform the way that he did the next day. So, I mean, accolades for her for doing that. It just shows you just being a humble presence in the room, being a listening ear is important.
Really just talking to somebody out, like whether she said anything or not, which she really didn't. All she really said was, what are we going to do about this? Having somebody to talk to and just hear you out, like you said, it's therapy, and it makes you rethink everything in a positive way.
I think if she had not been part of Rocky's life at this point, I bet that he would have just coasted. He would have just coasted and not risen up to take on the challenge. He probably wouldn't have. I'm curious to know if he would have even ended up fighting Apollo at that point, because she really was that extra motivation. And
she was emotional support.
Yeah,
like crazy emotional support.
Well, it's funny. I guess we could talk about it now while we wait. At the end of the film, of course, when Rocky, he doesn't win, he loses, he's still celebrating, and it's like it's such an interesting way to conclude the film, because Rocky lost. He lost. This was his big chance, and he failed. He didn't win. He won in the eyes of the people, right? And nobody believed that Apollo actually won that fight, but it was still a victory. And I think the victory was, two things. One, he did what he set out to do, to go to the distance, right? No one's ever went the distance with Apollo Creed. He went the distance, all 15 rounds, 45 minutes. Isn't that crazy? That's so much time.
And he got solid shots on Apollo Creed throughout the entire match. He was not getting booked the entire match. He had solid points. Like, that's the whole point. He survived 15 rounds, and he was able to almost incapacitate. Yeah.
I like to say something though. Jackson, you said something wrong. He did not lose. Like I'm not here to spoil Rocky 2. Apollo said himself he did not beat him. He
did. He won by points. He won by points this first fight.
He was beat, but he didn't lose. He was beaten.
No, he's
I'm back.
talking.
He was beat, but he didn't
No,
lose.
he lost
said
the
so.
fight. He officially lost the fight. People,
He-
it was like
he
audiences.
expected-
Audiences didn't believe that he lost the fight, but he officially lost the fight by the scorecards. That's why Apollo Creed was
said,
jumping up and down.
I'm gonna
because
beat you
he
in
won.
3. I'm gonna beat him in 3.
Apollo said, "Man, I beat him, or I won, but I didn't beat. Or
Yeah,
I beat
see,
him, but
I
didn't
won.
win.
He literally said that.
I won, but I didn't beat him.
Yes, he won. He won by
Sorry.
points.
I beat him,
he
but I didn't
won
win,
the
he said.
points. He
I
won
beat
the
him.
first fight.
I
Yes,
beat
he
him,
did.
but I
We
didn't
just
win.
watched it.
But the whole point
I know.
is that he got ravaged by an amateur.
Yes.
He
Well, yes.
thought this was going to be easy. Yeah, he was going to be an easy pick, but he wasn't. He survived 15 rounds, and he put a good amount of beating on him to the point where he almost broke his ribs. So,
Yeah. Jordan, what are your takeaways from Rocky's first fight with Apollo Creed? Where would you rank it, like, against the rest of the fights in the upcoming films?
I'd call a little bit at the end. Ty, I think, was saying like I beat him, but I didn't win. I assume he's referencing I beat him, like I won the fight, but I didn't win. Meaning the 3 judges sitting ringside didn't tally it my way, but I won. I think that's what he was like kind of referencing when he said that. He came out first fight. Yeah, he didn't win on the judges' scorecard, but he won in the people's watching, their hearts and minds, and people watching at home are not dumb either. We're like, he didn't lose. It was either a draw or he won. That was the mindset. He didn't lose the fight. He either was a draw or he won. The fact that 3 guys ringside gave it to Apollo Creed didn't matter. And Apollo Creed in the second movie felt that and all the hate mail and stuff like that. It's like he know deep down he didn't win. He needed to go out there and do it for real. And that's the whole idea of the time. So even he knew deep down, Apollo Creed knew the truth deep down as well too.
he was the underdog from Philadelphia. He had very little, like, I mean, even if he had 64 fights behind him, like he was still the amateur. He was still the like underdog. And the fact that he was able to survive 15 rounds and get good hits on Apollo Creed, when Apollo Creed literally said, like, all the way in the beginning of the movie, I'll knock him out in 3.
Yeah, true. Well, you know what's funny is like all of these films, every single one of them does this, is they show you the highlights of each, of not even each match. They just show you the card highlights, right? And, there's a lot we're missing. 15 rounds, you only get several like 30-second highlights from, maybe like 4 rounds out of the 15. So the reason he wins is he won like 11 rounds on points, right? Or he won how many by the judges' standards. And
but he got beat to hell from an amateur. Like, that's what we got to really understand here, is that Apollo Creed is the best boxer in the world at this point. And he's like, yeah, I mean, he's struggling against this like Philadelphia amateur. So I think that's the whole point. It's like, who cares if Apollo Creed wins or not? Like, he put like the Italian Stallion, like, he's fucking sweet, bro. He pushed his shit. He pushed it to 15 rounds. He was able to hold himself. He got some really good hits. So, like, who cares if, yeah.
Well, so I think I made note of this in my notes to mention. I think it's funny how, it's annoying to me when it comes to boxing. Like, a lot of people, they just watch the highlights. And I always tell people to watch the full fight because the highlights never do the fight justice, ever. I noticed, I can't even remember, Jordan, I think your fight with Curiel is a great example of that. You gave him the work so many times over in the highlights. You have some good highlights in there, but it didn't show the justice of the work you did. And there's just too many examples of that with these highlights. And I think that's so annoying. If you watch the full fight, you get a totally different glimpse. People at my boxing gym, they never watch the full fight. I always watch the full fight. So, a major card or a smaller card. And the next day I'd see them at the gym and they'd be like, oh, I watched the highlights. Looked like this guy gave him the work. And I'm like, did you watch the fight? Because, the other guy was actually doing a lot better than you think, but the highlights weren't doing him justice.
Exactly. When I talk to people at the gym about fights, and if I haven't seen the fight, I only see the highlights, I verbally announce that. It's like common boxing talk. I seen the highlights. I let it know that, like, don't have a full understanding of the fight because I didn't see the fight. I only saw the highlights. I'm not gonna act like I have a full understanding of the fight, but I only saw the highlights.
Yeah.
So if that goes to show, but or was I going back to? Fuck, I forgot what I was going
No, that's
back
all right.
to.
We were just talking about highlights. I
Back
have
to
an
Rocky
interesting
or whatnot.
I have an interesting question for you in particular about this because of course, Rocky in this film obviously, and I think there's another movie where he just doesn't have much time in his fight camp to prepare for these fights. He only had like a few weeks to prepare for this fight with Apollo Creed, yet he's able to somehow survive 15 rounds. And clearly in this movie, he's not going through an extensive, aggressive, camp on his own leading up to this. He's really chill about it until, he finally gets his ass in gear with Mick. But do you think it's at all possible for a journeyman, a club fighter like Rocky here to realistically survive 15 rounds with a champ like Apollo, like in real life, if this was real?
No.
I mean, if we're like, it depends really how good they are. Are they? Is there people really that good or not known and get this fight? But if you have 64 fights, by then people are gonna know. The word's gonna get out if you're good. I mean, so that part's unrealistic. Is it realistic for someone under 10 fights? And oh yeah, for sure. I guess I can see that. But 64 fights, something would have got out. Something would have gone out. That's a little unrealistic part. Back to Rocky real quick with him fighting. Then the whole goal is Apollo Creed, how he lasts 15 rounds. He has one of those styles that no matter how good you are, it's going to be a tough fight. Even if you beat him, it's just going to be a tough fight, long night. One guy comes to mind right now is Marcus Mondana from Argentina. He's one of those guys that, like, he lost to Amir Khan, also Floyd Mayweather, but trust me, Floyd Mayweather, after that first fight, it's a close fight. Mondana was doing really good. He was winning that fight in the later round, but that was a close fight. Second fight, he almost knocked Mayweather out as a famous Mayweather's punch and then right when the bell rings and walk balls back to the corner. So he's one of those guys who's like, no matter like if he lost, it doesn't matter. It's still a tough fight. It's gonna be a tough night. And that's how I feel when I fight people. It's like, yeah, I'm a tough fight for anybody. It's gonna be a long night. It's not gonna be fun. That's a job. I'm not trying to make this fun for you. Then goes the Rocky style, just rough and tough, gritty. Like it's just he's there. And it's not gonna be fun. But yeah, no, I think it's only 64 fights. Like some would have known by then, but it's also different times. People back then fought a lot more than now, health reasons or whatnot. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing. Someone's fighting once a year, I think is a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Or skipping years, maybe they don't fight, take year layoffs, and that's different if you're on hiatus because you could choose to. But when you're fighting only once a year or even twice a year, I think 3 times is good. But we don't understand when you train for your body, it's not the 12-round fight. I might go out there and knock someone out in 3 rounds. It's really that 8, 10, 12-week training camp and stuff, like grueling on your body. It's not like I'm here, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm getting abs. That sometimes is a consequence of working out. You get abs or whatnot, but you're putting body through punishment. All the punching the heavy bags or the road work, like your body goes through punishment. So it takes a lot of your body. So then, you train for 12 weeks, you fight, need some rest, take a month off. That's 4 months right there. 4 weeks, I go 6. Then you got to train a whole nother, 12 weeks. So if you allocate a calendar year when you're fighting those long big fights, like 3-4 times, I think is good when you're fighting. Now you're fighting 6 rounders, 4 round. That's when the guys early in the career can rack up fights. Go to Mexico, I'm fighting 4 round. But you're fighting 10, 12 rounds against real competition, going in the long training real fights, like 3-4 times a year is good. My goal is to fight 4 times this year. So but I think it's a good, like, sustainable and keep busy and be healthy. A lot of those fighters back then just, you seen back in the day when they get knocked down and they're fucking standing over them. Like waiting for them, there's no count. They wait till soon they get up, boom, like sucker punch. Why do they stand up? It's just wild. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the days, right? Man, how long are your camps normally?
It really depends what kind of shape you're already in. My last fight's come off hip surgery, and I was forced to sit on the couch. So I was, I got out of shape. I mean, so during that time, that was the first time in a while that's happened to me. I'm usually active out of camp, so I go back in camp shape. So that was like not a new experience. It happened before the amateur took time, but anyways, it definitely was not fun. So I did 4-week prep camp. I did 4-week prep camp basically. Get back to my food plan and shit. But even then, I still was like, came back after 4 weeks. I still was heavier than I should. I wasn't eating. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So, but either way, so it was like 12 of that 8-week camp. So 12 weeks was good. Right now, I'm in good shape. I'm going to the gym. My weight's really good. I'm going to boxing gym 3 days a week. I'm going strength training 3 days a week. I'm swimming once a week. That's my schedule. That's my out of camp schedule. So, yeah, so I keep it nice, good form, good shape. I'm eating good and healthy. Boom, weight's good. Right when we get the call, whatnot, boom, I can hop right in. 8-week camp. I don't need a 4-week prep. This is prep right now. I'm doing strength, I'm prepping my body nice and strong, so I don't have to get out of shape. I'm get right back. I'm already right there. After a week, boom, right there.
Man, respect, bro. Respect. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know how anybody because what I would do in boxing, I was part of a club team in college, and I did that for a few years, and now I just do like conditioning. But I always, the gas tank is just impossible for me to upkeep. Yeah. I don't know how you guys do it, because
I know fighters like who take time off and get really bad out of shape all the time. UFC, Patty Pimble, but UFC is different. But I know I'm not gonna name people in boxing because I'm not gonna talk. I know people like that, and it's not like impossible. I've done it. I just did it recently. I've done before that too. It's just not fun to do for me. I know it's not fun. It's not fun to be really out of shape and have to go back in shape. You don't understand how grueling those first 2-3 weeks are. It fucking sucks. It's not fun. I don't want to. So I try to stay in it so I'm right there, because it's not fun. Now, other fighters, they just let themselves go and they do it. And there's been good fighters who've done it that way for a long time. But I also believe it will eventually catch up to. I think that, it's work. It's nice to sit down, not do shit, eat food, whatever, party. I'm sure it does do that. But if we have to be honest, what's better? Staying in shape and then peaking, or getting awfully out of shape, getting 40, 50, some people do that, 40 plus pounds and do that. Like, if you don't be a rocket science and know it's probably better for your body and better for you long term if you stay in a decent baseline. So if you're trying to be the best version of yourself, as I am, boxing, that's a part of the sacrifice. You got to do it like that. It's just going to benefit you. Getting out of shape, into shape, it just puts a lot on your body. It's just not if you can help it, meaning if you're not late about having surgery, there's no other physically keeping you back, it's advantageous for you to do it. That's what I believe.
That's good.
But some of those Mexican fighters, they can leave boxing camp, drink a lot of cervezas, whatnot, and they come back in looking flabby or whatnot, and they can throw 1,000 punches around, beat the shit out of you. That's genes.
I don't get it, man. Every time I see, really, it's like every time I watch a card with the Mexican fighters, I just can't imagine them losing. I just don't see anybody beating the Mexican fighters. It's like a whole other breed of boxer. I don't get it. It's crazy. It must be in the genes, like you said, because I'm pretty much always rooting for them, because it's like I don't see somebody beating them.
It's just muscles don't win fights, and a lot of Mexican fighters, they show that. And it's nice to have muscles, but you just got to know in deep down muscles don't win fights. And when you do something for so long, like say Mexican box from such a young age, you can not punch it back. I guarantee they don't punch it back for 6 months. They come back in the gym, and they're drinking beer, they're partying, they come back in the gym first day, they'll do 15 rounds in the bag, no problem. There's guys out there like that. That does exist, and there's something there. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I just know that's a thing. But I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to test myself. I'd rather just stay in shape. But there are guys who can do that for sure.
Man, yeah, that'd be great if that was any of us. That'd be sweet. That'd be great just in life. Yeah, I'd love to just pick up something and just be in shape. That'd be awesome. Well, let's move on. I think we pretty much tapped the barrel with Rocky 1. Now let's get into the grander scale of Rocky, because as you said, we got 5 other movies. Not including the Creeds. We're not talking about the Creeds. But, what happens in these next few, Rocky goes on to fight Apollo again, of course. He wins. He fights Clubber Lang, Drago, Tommy Morrison. And then he has a strange bout again as an older man. I don't know the guy's name of who he fights in.
Tommy Morrison is his real name?
Tommy Morrison's his real name.
Does he go by another name?
Tommy Gunn is the film's.
Tommy Gunn's the film. Okay. Tommy Gunn's the film. Tommy Morrison's his real name. The 6th movie, his real name is Marvin Hagler. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. When the guy beat Roy Jones Jr. the first time they beat Roy Jones Jr.
I didn't know that.
Not including the disqualification. That doesn't count.
He was a middleweight from Rocky Balboa, right? This one.
No, he's a heavyweight. He was a heavyweight. And in real life, he probably started at middle, but very soon all his prime career was a light heavyweight.
Gotcha.
And the Rocky films, he was heavyweight.
Yeah,
well, I'm pretty sure before his career ended, he did fight a heavyweight at least once. When his career was just heavier. Yeah.
Right. Oh, wow. Man, I didn't. I wish I would have known that. I have not seen Rocky 6 in a long time. I watched the last 4 recently, but no, I haven't seen 6. I need to watch that one again. It's
pretty
cool
good.
that they give you like modern boxers to be part of the equation. It's terrible what happened to poor Tommy Morrison and his story. I mean,
Tragic story.
yeah, it's real
Yeah.
sad. But throughout these movies, of course, both Mick and Apollo died tragically, and then Paulie and Adrian died later. It's pretty sad. Like it's just, the shit show just keeps piling up here.
I don't think Polly
And,
does.
I think like one of the characters that isn't silent at all, but I think is kind of overlooked in the grand scheme of things is Apollo Creed. I think without Apollo Creed, this series, I wouldn't say it doesn't work, but man, he is just that he is this absolute quality that the series needs. He is a necessary piece to the puzzle to make all of this work. So I'm kind of wondering, what do you think it is about Apollo's character that improves the franchise as a whole?
I mean, it's just
Because
his
we get him in
charisma.
We get him in 4 movies. I mean, that's a
Four
long
movies,
time.
yeah. Just his charisma. I mean, his charisma, his physique. No Diddy, but the dude was shredded. Come on, now, all dude was shredded, bro. I mean, his physique, like he played the character so well. Like no one's dumb. They know we know they were trying to appeal Muhammad Ali, and I think Apollo Creed did that, like in a way. Like you knew it wasn't, but like hey, like he just his persona. He looked good. He talked good. He was clean cut. The dude's like Mr. Universe shredded. I'm sure he's probably coming off the Terminator movie around then too. Him and Arnold, like I don't know when that one, maybe the age, that was later. It's still like the dude was like it was perfect, and he was athletic, and he could box a little bit. That's the thing. Corey, like, bro, this guy wasn't like it's not like he didn't know how to throw a punch. He could move around. He could do stuff. He was athletic. The dude had athleticism, so that definitely helped him, and it helped the movie itself. So I think just all that packaged into one deal, boom. Apollo Creed, yeah.
What's so special about him, Jordan? I do at least 2 fun facts per video. So what's so special about Apollo Creed to Sly when he was casting is that Apollo Creed or Muhammad Ali, he was a big inspiration, and he wanted to have somebody symbolize him in some way.
That was part of it, like making that connection.
Right, yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
I heard that Stallone also he was like really impressed with how much Carl Weathers already knew. Like he was already like he had the skill like to some degree early on. So that was like further justification for bringing him on to play this role. I got to meet Carl Weathers at a convention a few years ago before he died. And what's funny is when I met him, he acted just like this. It was so cool. And I don't think he was like acting or anything. He was like bombastic. He was loud, enthusiastic. It was great. It was a great way to meet him. And he was a cool guy. I've heard a lot of like negative commentary about like people's interactions with him, but I had a great talk with him. I'm glad I got to meet him before he died. But I think like Apollo Creed's also like one of those examples where he's like the unlikely proud American icon too, right? I loved that about him, this bold, loud patriot, right? This is another one of those big patriots. And Jordan, while you were gone, we were talking about Jake Paul came up into conversation, and he was like, for all the crap he gets, he is like one of those guys that does like, respect America and promotes America. Wouldn't you say? Because I think like I see a lot of, sometimes he says stupid things, but I mean, I get that sense from him that he cares, that he's proud of his country. Even when he has those like those moments after the fight and he talks on the microphone, I've heard him reference America a few times, that he's proud to represent America. I like that, and that's a little bit of credit you can give him. But that was definitely something with Apollo that is rare, even more so than Rocky in these movies. He really embodies that spirit. And I think what's also special about him is that he goes through so many interesting shifts throughout these movies. Of course, the first film, he's sort of like, he's the champion giving the underdog a chance, right? And he's not really a villain, he's like the anti-hero a little bit in that first one. And then the second one, he totally shifts. He's the villain, he's malicious. And then in the third one, after losing to Rocky, he is now, totally a different person, and he embodies the mentor. He embodies the compassionate mentor to Rocky. I mean, how weird is that of a shift? And like you don't see that. We don't see these sorts of transitions in any kind of franchise. And it worked for him. It worked. And it just creates this like beautifully layered character that just feels just more and more real and likable, right? That he's able to humble himself to become a mentor to the guy that ended his career. I mean, when you think of it, like if you zoom out on it from a different lens, it's pretty incredible. And I can't think of anybody that would be willing to humble themselves to do that sort of thing.
Well, Rocky ending his career gave him something to look forward to after his career was ended. You know, someone to push hard and train to make someone else successful.
Well, he didn't want to end. You know, he didn't want his career to be ended. You know,
no, not at
the
all.
fourth
But
movie, he's like, you know, he's desperate to come back into it, and unfortunately, that's his undoing. But yeah, I think what's also cool about him too is he's like, you know, he's real smart, but he's not a smart ass. And I think that's like, there's a fine line there. And with his character, they made it work where he's like intelligent. He's not like, you know, I don't like Chris Eubank Jr. at all. Jordan, I don't know how you feel about him. You know, just from like an audience lens, I don't like him at all. I just don't like his attitude, the way he talks. You know, he's prudish with his intelligence, right? And I don't have anything against him. I just don't like the way, just what I see on camera. And, you know, here we are, Apollo Creed, he's also, you know, that intelligent voice, but it's different. You know what I mean? He's not a smart ass like that. So I think that's a fine line, and they made it work here to make this character. I mean, he's so complex. You know, he's this giant, proud American who goes through all these changes, and he's not punchy. You know, he's not punchy. And he's so different than Rocky that it just creates such an interesting dynamic. Two people totally different, not really much alike, but they get along, and they also don't get along at the same time. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
100% agreed.
Yeah. And I think, you know what? It's like he also represents like that flamboyancy, like you said, you know, a Muhammad Ali. And that's something that also boxers do a good job. I think we still have a lot of good, modern, vibrant characters in boxing. You know, Teofimo Lopez, that was a great recent example. Tyson Fury. You know, I think that's like, it's still here. You know, the effect isn't, you know, as potent as it used to be, but you know, he was that character by design here. And you know, Rocky's obviously the classic understated hero who has a lot more to show. He's not showing his cards just yet. So I don't know, it's interesting. I think their relationship altogether was just it made for such an interesting dynamic that carried through all of these movies. It didn't end, and that's part of the fun. It's weird. It's so weird to think about. The villain in the very first one, or he's not even a villain, he's an anti-hero. He becomes the villain, and then he becomes a mentor, and then a friend, and then he dies.
Yeah. That's what makes it great.
Yeah.
That's the two sides of the pendulum, you know, and that's the first four movies I think are. Yeah. Just
what do you guys think, like, for that final fight that Apollo has with Drago? Because of course, you know, he gets in the ring with him, and it was supposed to be an exhibition match, right? It wasn't like supposed to be taken super seriously. The Russian, I don't think he's had any pro experience at this point. I think he's like been like well respected in Russia for being like an incredible athlete, but I'm not sure. Do you know, Jordan, if he had any pro experience?
He didn't.
I don't know exactly. I would think he did in Russia, but nonetheless,
Okay.
like the amateur scene is huge in Europe and whatnot. Russia take the boxing very seriously, so he's very schooled. So like the census was he was a really good fighter either way. So that was the census, and we're like, our guy is better than your guy. Cold War, Russia's not competing in Olympics. So like, I don't know. You picture that's what's going on, I guess. So he can't compete. So like you can't beat our guy. kind of thing was going on, and he was, you know, on the robot juice, and he made him into Terminator. You know,
he was on some serious juice.
You know, he's a fictional character. Dude's on some super juice. Guy has a screws loose. He's a freaking like just walking devil. Wants to, I'll kill you, I'll break you. Like, but literally, he just wants to snap you in half. Like, that's the movie side. That's good. It's the drama side. But yeah. And also, the dude was just massively shredded. Maybe it was a juice in real life too. The dude was just freaking
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
I think he was perfect, dude. He was a scary, dominating figure on screen and dominating persona. Didn't speak much. quiet, I'll break you, like, kind of shit. So yeah.
He wasn't
Do you
doing it
think
for the
like in this final fight here where Apollo dies, do you think Rocky should have thrown in the towel despite
Yes.
Apollo's pleas not to do so?
Yes, absolutely.
Still
Because
yes.
he was a dead man. Like as soon as the first punch was thrown, I mean, it was the fight. Technically the fight would have been stopped. Like
Yes, but hey, he's a good friend. My friend told me not to do it, meant a lot to him. I should have, but hey, I'm just, he's standing up to where his friends want, even though he should have. Like, there's definitely people out there who think like that. Like, all right, just want me to stop him. Wants to walk up to that big dude at the bar, fight him for sure. Go ahead. Like, you're gonna get fucked up, but you want him to stop something like that, You know what I mean? But like, yeah, he should have. We all think he should have. He probably think he should have.
Yeah.
Brady-
Well, yeah, because he died. Now we're all like, yeah, he definitely should have. You know what's weird? Why didn't the ref call it? The ref should have called
Exactly.
it.
Well, he was
Well,
pushed out of the way by Drago.
Like I say a lot, especially to my mother who I watch movie. Like, why? How is he shooting 30 rounds out of a 6-shoot revolver? My mom, it's a movie. Come on, I'm analyzing it. Take it easy. Like,
yeah, facts. That's what we do here, Jordan. We overanalyze.
But also, yeah, the other coach, his original coach, his original head coach. I mean, he could have thrown in the towel too. Why was it all on Rocky? Yeah. Throw in the damn towel. He could have picked up.
True.
But that's in real life. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone could have jumped into the ring and stopped it. Yeah, Duke.
Yeah.
True.
But then we don't have a movie though. We don't have a movie. The storyline.
I didn't want Apollo to die, man. That should
Paul
not
comes
have
out
been part
there
of
and
the
boxes
equation.
his head off and schools him. What happened in the movie over at the end? Okay.
Oh, that would have been I'll take it, man. I want Apollo to have some. I want him to have a legacy, man.
They could have done Apollo come out, beat the hell off him. Oh, I still got it. You know what? Actually, Rocky, I'm better than you. I can't believe we're not friends anymore. Another rematch, something like that. I don't know.
I mean,
yeah, there you go.
Better outcome.
Yeah, that could have been totally different if he just went down that route.
This was Apollo's ego going crazy. He was way past his prime and retirement. No training out. Did he even train for this fight? It did not show.
Yeah, there was no montage with him. But
it was supposed to be Rocky.
He definitely had time. Time passed. I mean, they talked about this wasn't something that was just like dropped on his lap. He had time to prepare. There's so much that these movies don't show you.
If this was real life, it would be you have bad people around you. Because people around you should have advised you and steered you into another. You think you still got it? You want to get another fight in? Okay, let's do it. Just not this fucking beast of a man. What the fuck? Why you gotta fight him? Okay, like let's fight someone else. Dumb advising, like fight. Like let's get you a fight. It's not that guy, especially the first one. Like let's do this, and we'll go from there. That should have been the talk before anything. But it needed the movie. So yeah.
Here, Park's file here. He says, during the Cold War, Russia and the U.S. were doing everything in their power to make themselves look more impressive than the other. That history is crazy, man. Yeah, there you go. And they pumped up Drago full of drugs. So that's how he was the machine.
Steroids,
yeah, U.S. still won.
Hence the image, evil Russia, this or that. Yeah, that's what they did. But hey, that was the 80s, it was a different time, and it made good film and whatnot, propaganda and whatnot. So
yeah. Hey, 2 men fighting each other is better than a million, like they say.
Yep. Never heard that before.
That's a quote from the movie, man.
Oh, it is? Oh,
yeah, Rocky said that.
Nah. All right, Kyle. Our friend Kyle's here. What's up, Kyle? He says, the film embodies the verse in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. Rocky's commitment to strive and not quit gives him the ultimate victory beyond the scoreboard. Hell yeah. He was so satisfied with that in the beginning, right? Because he went the distance. I mean, it wasn't even about winning.
Will. That's what it is. Ultimate will. You see that in the first movie. And then they circle back to that in the fourth movie because he should have lost. I mean, he's out of his prime too. Like that's his after Purple Rain. You know what I mean? He's out of his prime. He's fighting this dude, just destroy. He barely got through Apollo Creed fights. He just like destroyed Apollo. Even though it wasn't the same version. It wasn't that. It wasn't Mike Tyson 50 years old. You know what I mean? It was like a year later, 2 years. That's what it make it seem like. So it's like still Apollo. He destroyed him. Like. How he should have died. He should have died too in there. But why? His ultimate will, his iron chin and stuff like that. But it's his will to keep going. His will. I'm gonna go train in Russia. I get it done. I have to. His ultimate will. That's what they come back to the fourth movie. So going off that guy's comment, the endurance. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. There you go, Kyle. Hopefully that was good. I'm kind of wondering, just about your career altogether and your experience. Have you found any moments in anything, training, maybe just like your mindset, or like any fights you've had, where you've seen like kind of parallels between anything that happened in the Rocky movies with what was going on with you at that point?
Mm, I mean, maybe little, maybe the last fight or something like that. Not entirely, really, but I look forward to it in the future. I do think about that, so it might happen more in the future too. I say little bits and pieces maybe, but nothing crazy identical yet. Yeah, nothing I can think of. If I fight someone in Russia, that'll be okay. There we
Oh
go. Yeah,
man, that'd be
honestly, bro,
crazy.
that would be cool. I'd be totally down for that. I mean, there's no one really big, but if there's someone is, or just another, it doesn't have to be Russia. It could be any country. Going to someone's home country and fighting them, like, yeah, I would take a lot of pride. Be like, yeah, let's go, motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna come in there, American red, white, and blue, strapped
Hell
up,
yeah.
and make the crowd nice and quiet. So, yeah,
Well, that was so good what Figueroa did to Nick Ball, over the weekend. He
yeah, that was
schooled him.
crazy.
That's awesome. I didn't see that coming.
12th round stoppage too. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Finally,
was.
you stopped the wrecking ball. I've been waiting for that for a long time.
I'm not
And then,
surprised though. Figueroa's a tough dude. There's a lot of punches. I mean, watch that Stephen Fulton fights. I mean, he went at it. That's I mean, like I
mhm.
knew Figueroa was a live dog. It was not. I mean, that was a real fight. So not surprised by that outcome. It's not like like that
Like
shocker.
groundbreaking.
No,
Yeah.
I mean it was a shocking ending, sure, but like shocking that he won and whatnot. Yeah, shocker, 12th round knockout. But like the performance, I knew like Figueroa like is a real dude. So like yeah.
Hmm.
Um. Close
Cool.
fight going to the scorecards in England, though, that's the risk you're taking. Going to England, finding a guy, English guy. That's
Yeah,
the
they
risk
were
you're taking.
pissed.
If I win, I better win 12 zip, maybe get a split decision. That's the mindset you gotta have, or I better knock him out. Yeah, that's like the two things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was me in my last fight. I knew it was a close fight. I watched it back many times already. I thought I won rounds 1 through 4 clearly. Thought round 5 I lost. I thought
Yeah.
6 it was close, but I give it to him, so that's 4-2. I thought round 7, 8 I won. I thought it was convincingly I won. Landed the hardest shot, throwing punches. Round 9 thought I lost. 10 was a close round. I give it to him. That's 6-4 right there. If you argue one of the 7, 8, 8, it's a draw. But the scorecards didn't resemble that at all. That's pretty humble. If I really thought I thought I won 6-4. But if I really thought I lost, I would say I lost. But again, I wasn't surprised. I know the grind is close. Mexican, he was already the main event. Mexican fan judges.
Yeah.
I knew it. Like I already knew. Like damn. So yeah,
That's
it's
so
part of
lame.
boxing. People say it's a shame. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, whatever it is, what it is. Like that's what it is. I can't do nothing about it. And I can't really control that aspect. I just knew that was an aspect to the fight. So I'm not surprised by how that went. I experienced that actually twice already. Both I experienced both lots of like that as well too. So it is what
Gosh.
it is.
That's a bitch. Yeah, it sucks when there's something that's out of your control. It's like there's nothing you could do to change it either. Unless you knock him out, right? Because there's no disputing. Like like Figueroa, I couldn't tell if they were saying, because I was listening to some commentary on it, and I couldn't tell if they revealed that it was like the English or the British people that the judges were scoring in Figueroa's favor or in Ball's favor the whole time. I couldn't tell. I got those mixed up, but
Yeah, I know. I saw the same thing you saw. 106, 103, that stuff, those
yeah,
scorecards. Honestly, I couldn't tell either. I tried to zoom in, like
yeah.
which
Which
one, which
one?
side's Nick
Yeah,
Figueroa. I tried. There was no comments yet. But fuck, I don't know. Who
yeah.
cares?
Whatever.
Like I knew who
Same
won. I tried
problem.
to. Either way, it looked like it was close. It was a very close fight, but I couldn't tell. One was wider, so I didn't know if it was like, oh, they're gonna rob Figueroa. I have no. Honestly, again, I didn't watch the fight, so I gotta be
Yeah.
honest.
No,
I
I
didn't
didn't
watch
see
the
that one
fight,
either.
so I can't even watch the fight knowing, oh, Figueroa won that 10-2. I can't say. I have no idea how close the fight was. I know the outcome. I don't know if it was a close fight or someone's winning one. I had no idea, honestly. I was.
Sure.
What was that? Saturday. It was Saturday, where I was
Yeah.
doing stuff earlier. England fights are on early, bro. They're on
Yeah.
early. I was doing stuff. I didn't watch it, so
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're good. Well, it's funny. All right, so we're talking about, of course, accuracies, inaccuracies in boxing. And Jordan, I know you said we gotta, this isn't like it's not terrible, the inaccuracies in like the fighting experience, but I think it's worth talking about because it is a critique that the Rocky films get. So I'm kind of wondering, everybody, whole panel, what it is that you guys notice that just maybe doesn't work so well with the Rocky movies in these during these fight choreographies, because I think you're right, Jordan. I think we haven't gotten a really solid, technical display of like real boxing. I think Creed 3 actually had some great examples. I think the Creed movies have been doing well with that. But other than that, I think that like, these movies they're not very technical. Like I think, boxing is so crazy how technical it is. And, none of these guys in any of these movies are real technical, don't you think?
Yeah, I'll go into that real quick. I mean, yeah, no, they're not. But then again, what do you expect? So I guess you would take it at face value. Do you really enjoy it? You have to understand it's from 1976, 1979, 81. You
Yeah.
have to you would take that in consideration. I love Clint Eastwood, John Wayne movies, the old school movies. Some of his, but I like his later versions. Big Jake, something. This is like 1970s, 1960s. Come on. Like, I know 1930 movies like the black and white. Come on, but this is in color. 1970. I still think, the acting through the movie was good. The choreography, yeah, not the best, but it still had the excitement in there. You have to know that. Like again, I can compare it to modern day boxing, to the Roberto Duran, the George Foreman. I mean, you're telling me that's any better than Rocky? Like, I don't think that's very good. That's modern. That's how many years apart? 50, 60 years apart. I don't think that's like that any better. Now, Creed, you say Creed 3 was good. I'll tell you what, I have no idea. I didn't see it. I wasn't a fan of Creed movie. I watched Creed 1. I just didn't like it. So I just didn't bother watching the next one.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. Now, when I watched it, it's when it came out. So when was that? 2020, 2019? I don't even know. So that's a while ago. I don't remember the first one, honestly, now. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're you got to expect, like, these aren't fighters, they're actors, but I still has all the excitement, all the goosebumps. You have to take it at face value. Like some of the old time movies, someone shoots, they go down, there's no blood, or the blood comes late, And so like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's some modern movies today that don't do any better. I think Rocky does better than some modern movies, 50 years apart, 40 plus. I mean, so you can make that argument all you want.
That's fair. What about you guys? Do you have
Jordan,
any thoughts, Luke? Ty?
Correct me if I'm wrong. What I think is very inaccurate and non-technical about these fights is the fact that Apollo Creed jab, left hook, body shot, uppercut, like it just like constantly. I know that they're showing the highlights, but I don't think a man can take like constant punishment like that.
No, again, it goes to two things. It goes to Rocky's persona of being like the Rocky, like, bah.
Right, yeah. That's what I just don't
takes the
buy
persona,
from it.
like, just get hit and keep coming forward and whatnot. So like it adds to the movie. Like this guy can't get knocked, he can't stop. He just fucking take punishment. Okay. Two, yes, you're not wrong to point it out. 100%. Like it's not realistic. It's a movie, so you have to take that. But there are guys out there who take a lot of punishment. I mean, think about like there are guys out there who take. Look at one guy I think of, Gabriel Rosado. Yeah, he's been stopped before or whatnot, but dude's took in some tough fights and got his butt whooped. Like, I'm not talking bad about him. I'm saying he's got beat up bad in some fights, but he stood strong. The ref has to look at the Triple G fat. He's bleeding all over the place. Not once did he stumble. Not once did he shake his knees or whatnot. The ref had to stop it. The ref stopped it. There was so much blood or whatnot, but he was in there. So, I mean, there are guys in real life who can take unmeasurable punishment compared to someone else. It doesn't seem realistic. That does happen. Sometimes you meet someone, you go punch them with everything in the kitchen sink, that's saying, and they won't go anywhere. That does exist. But yes, it's a little unrealistic the way they show it in the movie, 100%.
I think those are fair points. That's funny, Luke. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it is crazy how none of these boxers really have any defense at all. Like, there's no show of defense in any of this.
Yeah.
And
that's Rocky's persona. Like, no defense.
Well, same for Creed. Like Apollo Creed,
easiest
like
body shots
eating
ever.
those shots, and he's like kind of covering them, but Rocky's still getting in under those elbows on those body shots. It's like, come on, you're almost there, Apollo. But yeah, I think you're right. Like back then, it just wasn't as technical. But
some corniness makes it better. The corniness sometimes makes it like
I think like I just wrote some things down just generally. Like if this was like, I guess if we're comparing it to modern boxing, because geez, all about this, infinitely more than any of us. That like you need head movement, you need to guard. Like nobody guards in here. Rocky obviously doesn't guard. These guys, I don't think there's a single moment in any of these 6 movies where they are switching angles or really like, trying to get a better angle on each other. They're just coming forward the whole time. And I also think like the swelling, it doesn't work. It's just like, Rocky, when you look at his swelling, it's not the same as watching like, a modern example of somebody swelling. Totally different looks. There's like no distance mechanics at all. I mean, Apollo, he should have a decent amount of distance between him and Rocky. He's got those long arms, and doesn't seem like nobody's really trying to create that distance between each other. Everyone just gets up in each other's spaces. Oh gosh, I don't know, but these are just.
I think it's
things.
safe to say that movies are such great movies, more so of the storyline, the way it grabs you, the actors and actresses, more so than the choreography. I think it's a fair statement. You know?
Oh, that's
the
definitely
fight
true.
scenes don't bring you in. It's the story, it's the journey that brings you in. I think more than anything.
Yeah. And I don't mean, it's not like I'm dogging on it. It's just, that's like just, that's the situation. It's nobody's fault. It's just the way it's shown. But kind of wondering what you guys think. Out of all the villains that Rocky faces, who do you think is his most like unrealistic foe? Like you're not going to face anybody like this.
Clubber Lang.
I'll see Clubber Lang for
you're thinking him?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That guy is so disrespectful. First off, like has like no heart, like no no appreciation to the actual sport. He just like is doing it for like vengeance and like just it's in the interviews he has in the movies, like he's just like you can see. First off, you can see his eyes like moving over to the cue cards, like for the script. Is what's his name?
Shit, why'd you tell me that? I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, it's like after the first defeat, but he just I don't know. His hits are just, you can hear it in the movie. It's like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Oh, you hear him doing that or something?
Yeah, no, it's like right there. It's just I don't like his character. He's just an ass, and he just seems very unrealistic to the sport.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think you're. I mean, I'm a dominant Russian who's a beast is not going to around that exists today. Artur Beterbiev, like that. That's true. I can see it existing. It just is everything about him. I'm not saying the fighter. I'm saying like his persona. Like I think he's more Hollywood style, but that's what makes him so like eccentric character. Like dude, that character is goated. Like him, he made a career off that character. Him personally, because that character was so iconic. The way he's went. This is because it's ridiculous. That's why though. Because
I can't believe y'all were saying Clubber Lang. I thought y'all were gonna say Drago, man.
Well,
this time, everyone unanimous Clubber Lang.
It's I don't know.
I thought Drago, because I mean he's so juiced up, and you literally get a moment where, and I guess sure that could be accurate, right? Somehow he gets away with being like ultra juiced this whole time.
I mean, that was a thing. The Russians in Olympics, they juiced all their people and whatnot. I'm talking about every like category, every sport, swimming, gymnastics, like that's definitely a thing. And fighters today, like I'm not saying it, but it's definitely a thing that went through his system. And I'm not a scientist, but there's definitely a thing out there. If you were on this from like 10 years old, they start that young to like 20 years old. Doesn't matter if you're never on it again. Some of the benefits you got from it will be there for the rest of your life or whatnot. So that's definitely like, I think a thing that could be, and no one knows any details. Is like, Russia, the old Soviets, a place where your birth certificate goes missing. Like, oh, we don't know where that is. We don't know how old you are. You know what I mean? So, like, but
yeah, true. I don't know.
So
I
that's
think
what I'm saying.
like,
it could be realistic. It could be more realistic than I'm thinking.
I don't think there's anybody in the modern, landscape that's as heartless as Drago is, though, because obviously, he kills Apollo Creed, and if he dies, he dies.
If you see the director's cut of Rocky IV, it's a completely different outlook on Drago. He's being manipulated and basically carried by his team, like his wife, the president of Russia, or whatever we call it. They are like basically owning. He's owned, and his only purpose is to stand up and make the Soviet Union proud. But if he fails, he's a nothing. So he's it's actually kind of sad if you think about his character.
No, true.
That's fair. All right, I guess everybody says Clubber Lang. That's sad. I really thought it'd be Drago.
That's funny, what it is.
Well, all right, fair enough. Gosh. So, what do you think? Like, this is where I'm definitely excited to hear what you have to say about this question after this one, Jordan. But when you think of Rocky, of course, you think about like the epic training montages, right? People still listen to those to be inspired today. They're infamous, right? I mean, there's no other movie that has training montages that people will look back on like they do with Rocky. And what do you guys think it is about these like select moments that continue to inspire and resonate with people today? Because thinking about it, it's like all this time has passed since 1976 was so long ago, and here we are today. We're still listening to these songs. We're still looking at these moments as highlights of the films. What's so special about them?
I mean, there's a saying out there like I'm gonna bosh you because I don't really remember the saying, but something like "legends live forever" or "glories forever," "money and fame come, glories forever," something like that. Like once you're like solidified, Rocky movie, a quote, a scene, that one quote from the Rocky Six, that whole scene he's talking to his son,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like life is gonna hit you harder than like the whole montage you hear over again. It's just like that scene, that moment is just idolized, solidified. And 50 years out, 200 years later, when we're dead, I guarantee that montage will still be around. People will know about it. 1976, they'll talk about it. Be the year 3000, 1976 Rocky. Like that moment's like not going anywhere.
Right.
Same thing with other things are gonna be like that too. But it's just like that's one thing. Yeah, and I think it goes for anything.
And right, Rocky became a symbol, like you said, Jordan. He became a symbol of courage and heart, and that just sticks with one of the biggest boxing films of all time. There have been boxing films before this movie, but once there's a sport movie that comes out, one of the first sport movie that explodes, that's what will hit every generation coming up, because it's just so inspiring.
Exactly. That too. It was like the first sports movie. I'm sure there was Raging Bull was De Niro. That was later, maybe early. I don't know. Like there was
Match?
No, Raging Bull.
Oh, yeah, I was like, that was way later. Never mind.
That could have been early. I don't know exactly, but maybe there was something before Rocky, but nothing at the level Rocky was. And solidified. So it was it was like the first sports movie that definitely like change Hollywood, is saying, add this new genre of sports coming a huge department. That was boxing, basketball, football, all the fucking movies. Like it came like that definitely was the first, not just boxing movie, just sport in general, a movie that and just literally opened up a new market in movies. Kind of, if you think about it. So good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it froze up. It's like, where'd I go?
Sorry, Jordan, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh
wait. Oh crap! Now? It might be my end.
I think
sorry,
you were done,
somebody's
right?
breaking up.
Were you still going?
No,
you're good. Me? Was that me? Is everything all right? Okay, something was breaking up there.
Nothing
froze.
You're good.
You're good. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Sorry about that. Jeez. Yeah, I kind of missed what you said there, but I think maybe everybody else heard it though.
Well, yeah, I was just talking about the first sports movie, like Rocky, like not just boxing, but sports in general. Like got so big, it opened up a new market in Hollywood of sport in the genre of like motivational football, basketball, any sport, just a sport like thing. That was like the first one that got huge. That just like lit that thing on fire. Some of that Ty was talking about earlier, like sports thing, like first one, like that's what I was going off of. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, and you know what I think it is, like when you have those moments like where music and like a beautifully a beautiful scene, an impactful moment where anything is happening, right? It could be an action sequence. You think of like an odd comparison is in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, when King Theoden he's got his legion of horse masters ready, and he's giving them the inspiring speech, and they charge with the music behind their backs. That's another one of those moments that stands out with the music and the power of the moment and the dialogue that fuels like one of those impactful scenes that sticks today. And all of these, big credit to Sylvester Stallone, who wrote and directed these films. I mean, these were his babies, every single one of them. And he was able to make those happen. And each one of these training montages that worked for. Like when I think of these training montages, my favorite was always Apollo Creed's first one in the first movie. I don't even know why. That one's always stuck out to me. There's something about him, like like he was really just working on his own. He was with his coach, and just watching him like do the jump rope and hitting the speed bag and the reflex bag. There was something strangely inspiring about that, and I think maybe because it was so subtle compared to like the more, I don't know, elaborate pieces from Rocky that really stood out to me. But I always love those, and every time I do jump rope, I always think of him when he's doing that. He always moves his head back and forth when he's
Yeah.
jump roping. I do that because of him. So yeah, definitely
It comes
big.
down to the way you said. I think the music. I mean, there's sure there's good movies out there that don't have good music, but the ones that do have legendary music, all better. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I mean, it goes on and on. The Rambo music's solidified, or just songs in general. Look at Ice Age and that first movie, and they play that song "Set Me on My Way," and they're just like walking the journey, taking the journey with that. That's their version of the training montage. They're on that journey,
Yeah.
going that wasn't original music, but it was the perfect song to fit the mood. A lot of stuff, Pirates of the Caribbean, Rocky, right? Those are all original music. It makes it even better, but music makes or breaks the scene for action, for inspiring, for sad, for scary. You don't scare because the scene's happening. Yeah, that's part of it. But I
No.
guarantee you, if they show you that same scene without the music behind it, that would be a shit ton less scarier. You know what I mean? The music
Yeah,
makes
true.
it's a very important part.
It's
Yeah.
weird how much value it adds to a scene, I mean, it
Oh
makes or
yeah.
breaks it,
It's
right?
very powerful.
Wouldn't be the same without it.
Like you look
Um,
forward and you've seen it already. You're literally looking forward to specific scenes, specific songs, and whatnot. You're like looking forward to that scene if you're ever rewatching something. Like definitely, bro. We rewatch Shrek or Ice Age. Like definitely like just classic scenes that you're looking forward to and whatnot, and certain music and whatnot.
so Jordan, this is a question I'm very curious about for like your experience. How is there like any comparisons or contrast you can make between your training camps, like your typical training camps with Rocky's routine? Do you ever see any kind of overlap, or are they like so different from each other that you don't notice anything?
No, some stuff. I used to do the one-arm push-ups a lot. Used to do one-arm push-ups a lot. So that was a big time. The running for sure earlier when I was an amateur. I don't really run that much anymore. This is like a secret doing. I don't really run.
Hmm.
I think it's good. I swim. I swim a lot. And this is nothing
Mm.
new. I don't never ran. I used to run stairs a lot, and you definitely saw rock music a lot doing that. I used to run stairs up and down. But I think that just it's really tough in your body. Weight investment that bangs up your knees, my hip. I think this thing. So I use swimming now. Like Usyk does swimming, Lomachenko does swimming. So
Mm.
that's what else. So the running for sure. When I used to do that, like a long distance for sure. Um, but just I think what resembles training camps is that gritty hard work in the gym, sweating, pounding heavy bags, pounding the heavy bags. That's what I get. Like when you're in the gym and it's just in there, coach yelling, you're sweating. Those are like, yeah, that's this fucking training camp. Let's go. Like you pounding this shit. Like yeah. Those are the days. That's what I think in the gym. Yeah,
Mm.
it's not about the action that's happening, like the specific movement Rocky's doing. It's about the mentality.
What is it like? Just out of my own curiosity, what do you think is like most helpful in your routine to keep up like a steady pace when you're sparring or when you're fighting somebody? Like, is there like a certain like routine you go through to maintain like high gas while you're fighting?
No, two things. One, I do think part of it is genetics. I think
Mm,
some people can run 1,000 miles and still gas out by round four. I do believe that.
hmm,
So I think some of that's just some people are better at. Some people get it. I think I'm one of those who just got it, and then that's part of it, small part of it. If I don't work out hard, I'll still gas out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I think it's just kind of the hard fucking work. There's a thing about overtraining, and I've been guilty of that and hurting yourself. I have injuries throughout my career that are not from fights, but it's from overtraining. That's happened to me. That's where my hip came from, other things came from, or
Mm,
training to it. So you have to, the mindset, I want to train so hard, right? Yeah, I do, but you got to do it smartly. And I'm starting to realize that now, but really got to outwork people. You're in that bad, you got to dig, those coach not watching, you still got to dig. My version of running, I'm swimming, I got to dig on those swims. I got to beat times, I'm at strength training, I'm sprinting on a treadmill or whatnot. Now, a lot of it, so I would say a lot of adjectives, meaning swimming, strength and conditioning, stuff like that. Adjectives. The main thing is doing the sport itself, boxing, the heavy bag rounds, the sparring. You know, sparring is huge. You know, where do I get the most of my conditioning? It's from sparring, because from pushing myself in sparring. No, not every sparring session is a war, and I'm trying to blast, go
Yeah,
ballistic.
yeah.
But a lot of them are, I'm gonna like be exhausted when the sparring is done, not because my opponent put me there, because I put myself there. I'm gonna try to throw as much punches as I can. I'm gonna try to press, go, 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 punch, punch. Then try to move my head and do stuff. I'm gonna try to work. I'm gonna try to work. I'm gonna try to work. Some sparring sessions are like that, where I have someone counting my punches and whatnot. We're going over stuff. Around through this round 4 or 5, round 6. I had bursts. Trying to finish. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to leave it all out there. When this fucking thing is done, when it's my 8th round, when this 8th round's over, I'm gonna be on the ropes, freaking exhausted, because I put myself in there. I made myself that tired, not my opponent doing that to me. There is a big difference between the two. That's where I get most of my conditioning from. But there's a lot of other aspects of which is just as important too. It's a full circle thing. But the main thing is spar. I wish I could just spar and box and that's it. But I do believe these other things do help. And again, sparring is one of those things that it's tough on your body. You can't do it every day. You know what I mean? Punching heavy bags is tough on your elbows, your wrist joints. You can't smash a heavy bag every single day. You gotta be smart about that. Or your elbows, your elbows or shoulders, something they'll come back to you. So I mean, gotta be smart, but you gotta dig. You gotta dig in rounds. There's gonna be days where it's like we're going a little lighter, working on this. There's gonna be days where like we're working today. It's not sparring and we're digging this body bag and the coach in the room, the thing hit. There's some burnout rounds. So that's a thing too. Yeah.
Man, dang.
Yeah.
I liked hearing your perspective and thoughts on like, running out of energy because you're pushing yourself versus you are getting pushed and that's gassing you out. That's cool. That's
Wow.
an
Exactly.
interesting thought.
And that's where you should be. Like that's where I try, and like it's an art. It's like I'm not the smartest man in the world. I'm a little smarter each day. I'm still learning. Like that's what I like to say. I'm a little smarter each day. I actually go for boxing, goes for everything. I'm a little smarter. I learn something else new each day. Defense never ends. Even the best defensive fighters, I guarantee they you watch fights, they hit that one time. Defense never ends. Always trying to get defense better. But like that is the goal. Like, if I can win a fight and I'm be like breathing nice and easy after. I mean, unless I knock the guy out one punch in the first second. What I'm saying is like the round that goes a certain distance. Like if you're not tired, what's going on there? Like I mean, I should be tired. I shouldn't be tired to a point where I can't, defend myself properly. If I can't move properly, but I should be and that takes a lot of rounds, a lot of sparring to know where to sit at. It's not like you have a clock like, oh, you're at 70% heart rate or cardio this, you want to stay right here. You got to know it is possible to do too much and gash yourself out by accident, you have to know, but find them and be there. And you should be tired after fights. You should be working hard. You should be training to win the fight. The two things, if I'm not tired after the fight and I won, well, if I pushed a little more, maybe I could have won even more, or maybe I could have knocked him out. Two, if I'm tired of the fight and I lost, what the fuck? I had more to give in that fight. I'm gonna regret that for the rest of my life. So like there's two avenues right there. Yeah, you want to pace yourself, but like you should be tired. It's about recovering that 1 minute. Fighting when tired is a real thing, and that's a real skill to train. That's where the hard sparring comes from, and that's when finishing that last round, like I said, finishing that last round of sparring, balls to the wall, like Rocky running the stairs. Because you could be able to fight tired. It's the last round. I should be exhausted. It's my hardest round, but I'm gonna do the most in this round when I'm tired, because I can fight when I'm tired. That's the question. Can someone fight better than someone else when they're both tired? Because there'll be a point in certain fights where both guys are tired. Who wants it more? Who's going to give out more? And that's a skill. That's something deep down. Like it sucks. It's painful, but it'll be over eventually. I'm going to fight through the pain. Like, pain. What pain? Pain. Lots of pain for the opponent. That's what I'm trying to do. Pain on me. Like pain. This is fucking pain. Yeah.
Man, good stuff. That's cool, man. Huh. Wow. Sweet. I saw someone in the chat, Procfile. He said something kind of interesting, kind of pertaining to what we were talking about. He says, it's amazing how some guys can keep going even after they've been knocked out. There are pro wrestlers that have successfully finished a match but can't remember it after certain headshots. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Yeah, you get a guy that's nearly knocked out too, and he comes right back.
Yeah, you don't know until it happens. I seen a fight recently, like even so I have a great chin. Never said about me. I've never been dropped or stopped in sparring, amateurs, pros. Never. Knock on wood. God, knock on wood when you say that. Okay, that's bad voodoo. Oh, sorry. Not to the fucking one. It's bad voodoo. No. Um, But my last fight, I got hit in the 9th round. It was just a perfect sequence. I didn't see the punch. I put it right on the chin. Boom! You saw the legs buckle real quick, but in a split second, I recovered. I dodged 13 punches, grabbed them. Boom, we're good. I was happy that happened actually after the fight because I get to show off. Like I got hit with I should have been on the floor. How did I stay down from that punch? I didn't get put down. Like it was like the perfect punch. This big right. I didn't see coming out of the all those combo I was doing. The sequence was he threw a body shot. Oh, sorry, this hand. A body shot. He's looking down. Left hook right, and I was double left hook, second left hook. I threw a double left hook. I missed. Went over his head. I threw it hard, so I kind of went like this, like kind of off balance. I missed a little bit, and I was coming back. My arm, so my arm kind of fell. I hit another miss. I missed. The arm kind of like the momentum took me like this, kind of down, and simultaneously I'm coming back with my right hand like this, with my face. Boom, the arm went down, and split second. That's centimeters in boxing. Makes it, and the same time I started right hand, boom, right there, and I take it, but. I got to show my great chin. I took a crazy shot, stood up, recovered like that, dodged 13 because I counted it. Dodged 13, dodge or block 13 consecutive punches after on the ropes, grabbed him, boom, we separated, came right back on him. So I watched the fight literally like 2 Sundays ago. This guy, I knew this guy too, Alexander Volzdik from Ukraine. He fought on the Olympic team with Lomachenko and Usyk. I know him from California. He
was on the Zuffa. Was he on the Zuffa card?
Yes. Now, this is not like, I mean, he looked great that night. He looked in crazy shape. I mean, he's a great fighter and he came out strong, dropped the guy in the first round, he dominating every round, dropped him again in the fourth, dominating. He's winning every round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dropped him in the first, dropped him in the fourth. 7th round, he got hurt. He got dropped once. He gets backed up. He gets knocked out.
That was crazy.
He's dominating the fight. And he's in great form. He looked great. I mean, so talking about his opponent, I mean, I'm a fan of Alexander Alexander Volzdik, but talk about the guy, about the guy's comment about something getting knocked out or dropped. He wasn't knocked out; he was dropped, but still, nonetheless, he got back up. And you see that over time. What's that famous fight? Oh, Castillo, and another guy Mayweather beat him with a feint low left hook and drops. Someone drops like 4 times. Castillo versus someone else. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, if you've seen the fight right now. You definitely see that before. The highlight you've seen before. The guy gets knocked out, he's dropped, he gets back up, and then he sleeps the guy. I mean, it's happened before, and that's like just insane. Dreaming those moments. And that's a moment I don't necessarily dream of being dropped because I don't ever want to. I invite someone to try and do it, like see if someone can or whatnot. But like a part of me is like I want to be put in a situation to see like. What you're that's a fighter test myself. Maybe put in the situation. How bad do I want it? How bad? Like I'm in pain or whatnot. Now, unfortunately, if you get knocked out and you're out cold, blackout, well, you don't have a choice. Okay, it's kind of against your will. You're out of there. You're like you dropped the you know what I mean. It's not like you said you didn't choose not to get up. You were just out. I mean, like Manny Pacquiao, like he didn't choose to get up. He was gone.
That
you know
was
what I mean?
bad.
But like a body shot, guess what? You're all there in a body shot. Nothing the brain's there 24/7. It's so painful you can't continue. That's what it comes down to. Sometimes you get dropped and you can get up. You're there, but like, man, this guy just not. I don't want hit again. You choose to go down. So the moments like that where it chooses. But every fighter. I mean, I don't know every fighter. I would like let's go there. I dream about wars and whatnot. I dream about those fights. I want to win a world title. I don't dream about world titles. I dream about Mickey Ward or Toro Gatti, but it takes 2 to tango, but you can still make it exciting with a born fighter, trying to tear his head off, though. It's possible.
Man, I'm excited about whatever you do next, man. Like, it's so cool talking to you out here. I can't wait. I hope I hope Oscar brings another fight to Chicago because, man, Chicago, that's as close as it is. We're in Ohio here and we're not by Cleveland. We have nothing around here. So Chicago was like the closest for us. And that was a great card. So, man, Oscar, come on. Get the Patriot. Bring him down to Chicago. Let's get a great card there.
I would love that. I fought in Chicago once. I had a great time there. I want to go. I would love to go back to Chicago. I would love not to fight somewhere else rather than California all the time somewhere. Yeah.
That's where you usually are. You're in Cali.
That's where I've been let's see. It's probably been every fight besides 2, Chicago and Iowa. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
Wow.
Nice. Well, back to Rocky. Very interesting stuff. Thanks for sharing. What do you like? Do you guys like, not just you, Jordan, but just all together? What are like some of those like memorable scenes in the Rocky films that you guys call back to for motivation?
Oh,
There's so many.
yeah.
So
Definitely the training montage, but specific scene, him with his statue or whatnot, or not even done a statue. After the run, when he's on top with his arms up at the end of the training scene, specifically that scene for sure. That the Rocky 6 when he's talking to his son, motivation scene right there. Boom. Rocky 2 when he knocks down Apollo and he beats the count, Apollo doesn't. Like, yeah, scenes definitely. I mean, those come to mind right there. I mean, Rocky 4 for sure when he bleeds. He's bleeding. He can bleed, like holy shit, the dude has a drop of blood. He's dead. He's got him, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the scene that gets me the most is from Rocky 1 when it flashes to round 13 and Rocky is just getting hit and he's still up and he gets knocked down. Excuse me. Wrong tube.
Don't die on me, soldier. All right. While you recover real quick, I'm gonna Prox Fault mentions a funny one here. The street fight against Tommy Gunn, 10 out of 10. I don't think so. You are trolling, bro.
That's like a 5 out of 10.
Do you have one, Ty? Does one come to mind for you?
I mean, we watched Rocker 1 today, obviously.
Yeah.
So I thought that, and this is maybe a weird take, but I thought it was so cool when he was in the meat locker, just like beating the shit out of those, like that was sweet. I mean, like I don't know if it's the blood or the just like it's cool. I love that shit.
When the news camera's there and he's breaking the ribs and he's all is cold, and after he finishes, like
yeah, it's awesome. I mean, like he said, like he invented that shit. Like nobody's done that before him.
Well,
also Rocky 5. The fight scene, okay, it wasn't a 10 out of 10. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was cool and whatnot. It wasn't like terrible. Like that was definitely the best thing in the movie. But that's the problem. Right. The movie wasn't like all that.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes or whatever doesn't save the movie. 5 minutes doesn't save the movie. But the scene itself, it wasn't a 10 out of 10. But no, I enjoyed. That's the best scene in the movie was the fight scene for sure.
Right.
But
no,
I
agree.
Make up for the rest of the movie.
I agree, 100%.
All right. All right, really quick. Sorry, before I got choked up from that passionate scene I was talking about. Round 13, he was getting hit in the head and he gets knocked down, and everybody's telling him to stay down. He gets up. I actually watched a take on David Goggins on this. It's one of the scenes that inspires me as a runner. I'm a runner, not a fighter.
You're an eater.
Yeah. I'm also anyway.
Literally.
Yeah. So I'm a runner. I run marathons all the time. Run a 5K every day, and watching the scene when Rocky gets up and Apollo's like, "Yeah, I won." He turns around, he takes one look at Rocky, he goes, like he looks down. that scene like just changed my whole outlook on everything. Like it's like mind over matter. It's like you can keep going, and you can...
Bro, let me test your boxing knowledge. Real life. When did that happen in real life? I'll give you a hint. It happened in the last 7 years.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you the year. Make it easier. 2019.
Wilder Fury.
Wilder and Fury. Yes. Right, bro. So he knocks him out in that 12th round, bro. Everyone, even people there watching, dude, he's out. He's like he's on the ground like that. And they don't show Deontay, but I'm pretty sure Deontay went to the ropes, on the ropes. Like, I swear to God, I'm pretty sure that exactly the same thing happened. Like, because he definitely thought he was out. And he's counting, he's not moving, he's sitting there, and then it's like 4 or 5, and he does like the Undertaker shit, and he gets up. And then if you recall, he actually he came at Wilder in that 12th round after that and came at him. Actually, he had some good shots and punched Wilder like to finish the fight. Now, he still lost that round 10-8, but the rest of that round, he actually came out and it wasn't like, so I guarantee you, Wilder's like, what the fuck, dude? I should have won. You know what I mean? That's like, so I guess.
That's a good example. That's perfect. Literally.
That was great. A real life experience. Real life.
You see some reflections, right? I mean, I can't think of another example like that of recent time.
It's a great example.
No, I can't think of anything. Huh. Well, Let's see. I'm kind of curious about this too, Jordan, because I think Rocky, like when you watch modern cards, and obviously you're part of them, so better than anyone that Rocky music is still always played, and I feel like somebody, pretty much every card somebody ends up mentioning Rocky. Do you ever within your gyms and networks, do the Rocky films ever come up in conversation at all?
For sure, for sure. They come up from time to time, 100%. They come up, get the Creed and Rocky argument and whatnot. Young Bloods would like Creed. I mean, I'm not even old, but I call like I see it. I don't think they're
Yeah,
at that
that's
quality. Like
lame.
the entire movie, I don't think is as good. That's all. Like I say that about other movies that are modern remakes, or not. It's not a remake, but it's a continuation. But
Yeah.
about other stuff too as well. It's just the original's better, lesser, whatever you want to say. The 4 years ago, it still did it better. I mean, but that does come up for sure. Real quick, back to the Tyson Fury fight. This is for you guys as fans. If you guys want to see a great walkout, dude, watch Tyson Fury's walkout in that first fight in Vegas, bro. This is the England fans are awesome. This is not in England. This is in Las Vegas, but the England fans came over to support Tyson Fury. He plays that song Free from Desire. I forget the girl who sings it, but dude, the whole stadium's like, no, 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 he's jumping and whatnot. This shit's fucking epic, bro. It's an epic walkout. The whole England crowd's in there. Atmosphere was like nuts. Like
All right, I'll have to check that out.
yeah.
My favorite walkout is Anthony Joshua's walkout against Daniel Dubois when he had the Godfather theme playing. Bro, that hit.
He's a couple good ones. Again, England at some stadium and whatnot, the way they do it, fire like WWE, the fans are going nuts. And that's England has that over America. And that's and that's how I look to hope to change that one. But the fans go nuts and the atmosphere just goes crazy. Also, the heavyweight division, unfortunately, is just different. There's boxing and there's heavyweight boxing. And that's how it always is going to be.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I don't understand that exactly. I
mean,
you get good knockouts like with smaller, weights.
No, it's just simple. It's just simple. Like I'm born, you're born out of a human. We're both 250 pounds, 6'6", like there's not a man on earth who
like
can
Titans,
beat me besides you. Like, you know what I mean?
True.
It's like they're the biggest men on the planet fight. That's the whole that's it. That's it. It's not skill, because usually the better skill fighters are lighter weights. It's just the biggest humans on the planet. Athletic for athletic, because you obviously can't be 500 pounds in box because you'd be fat. But like the biggest humans physically in the planet in best condition fighting, that's just the human brain. Like big, like that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I would like to, man. I would like to see like a heavyweight bout in person, like be real up and close in there, because they're just so big you can't even imagine. What's because obviously you're with Golden Boy. Is his name Rocket Edwards? That's his name?
Oh yeah, Josh. I started training with.
Yeah. Is he real big
February
in person?
on the Ryan Garcia undercard.
That's cool.
And no, he's not very big person. He's very into old school. I don't know how tall he is, so I hope he's not watching him mad. I think he's 6'2", 6'3". I don't know his weight. I honestly don't know his weight, but I'm just gonna guess 225, 230. That's what I'm guessing. I'm really not sure. Maybe he's a little heavier. I'm just trying to maybe put on weight, but I think that's good. And think about it. That was Holyfield. I think Holyfield's a little shorter. Maybe he was like 6'2", 6'3". Holyfield's about the 220. They can Deontay Wilder. At his prime, he was like 218, 217,
Yeah,
220,
he's small.
215, really walking the ring. Mike Tyson, 215, 220. Ali's about 230. Who's about 230. So, I mean, for the longest time, heavyweight boxing, from like the 2000s on, we thought that was not possible anymore. You couldn't be 6'2", 6'3". That way, you were gone. You were an afterthought. You had to be 6'6", 6'7", because the thing about the Klitschko's brothers, they dominated the heavy division for like so long, and they were both 6'7", 6'8". Okay, after that, it was Anthony Joshua, 6'6", but built like Mike Tyson at the same time. Fucking insane. You know what I mean? You got Tyson Fury, 6'9", Deontay Wilder, 6'8". Like, we thought the time of small heavyweights was gone. Usyk comes back, literally, I think it's same is crazy. Same height, same reach as Ali, like the same weight, 6'3", like 220 or something like that, 215, the same weight as Ali. And he comes back and beats Tyson Fury, 6'9", 270. You know what I mean? He beats him.
I think they have the same birthday too, don't they?
Yeah, it's some weird shit. It's
so weird.
Some voodoo shit, man. It's like
weird connection.
It's not right. It's way too weird.
That is insane. They don't look anything alike, and they don't act anything alike either. But
so to Joshua, I think that's good. He's really skilled. He's small. I think it's better. I think that Usyk got that narrative. Like, you don't have to be 6'8", 6'9". Like, skills pay the bills. If I mean, if you're smaller, less weight and explosive, I think that still matters in the heavyweight division. It's just boxing's a science. There's not really one formula to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. If Rocky, I always just ask hypotheticals. I always think it's interesting, and we're getting close to the end here of our discussion. Rocky, if he existed and he's in America today and he's involved in boxing, what do you think? What level do you think he'd realistically be fighting at?
What version are we talking about here?
Like prime Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3.
Let's do
prime is Rocky 3.
Let's do Rocky. See, Rocky 3 is he's definitely world level. Well, no, was he? Yeah, well, he is.
10 title defenses. He loses, but then comes back and beats the guy. I think that was his peak right there for sure.
Well, Rocky 4, he's obviously world level. I mean,
he's too old in Rocky 4. No way.
He's still world level. I mean, he fought, the Russian.
Yeah,
well, that was.
But it was the will. Was the will? I think everything molded together. The 10 title event, the one loss, but then he got the skills from Apollo Creed, and still I think Rocky 3 enables the full circle of the best version of him.
So Rocky 1, we'd probably say he's
no.
He's not even really domestic.
It's arguable to say whether Rocky 2 is his prime because he has the eye of the tiger in Rocky 2. The majority of Rocky 3, they're even saying on television he's just too old. He's 34 years old, past his time. I would give it between Rocky 2 and Rocky 3, right after his first win after Apollo. But you can put him at heavyweight after Rocky 3 because he's 202.
Heavyweight? What?
Yeah, he's 202.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, 5'10". He's
5'10",
5'11".
Yeah, he's 202, 5'10" in Rocky 3.
Yeah, that's true. That is
so.
That's.
I mean, he was
you look at him and he just doesn't.
That's
look
Mike
that
Tyson.
big.
Mike Tyson's
But that's what we were talking about in Rocky 1 is that he's in this heavyweight
190.
division with Apollo Creed, but he's under 200 pounds. So
yeah, he was 190 in Rocky 1, which is crazy.
He gained a lot of muscle.
I didn't think you can be in the heavyweight division at 190 pounds. You can be in a fight at that weight. Jordan, is that true?
I don't know. No, you can't. The heavyweight division is 200 plus.
Yeah, okay. He was 190. Didn't they say 190?
Yes.
No, they said 192, and then they that seemed a little bit bizarre to me. It's they just threw him into this fight.
So light.
But I'll tell you this: with boxing, anything's possible because any fight can have stipulations in the contract. Literally, anything they can get approved by a commission, it can happen. 5-minute round can happen. 3-minute round can happen. Okay, you could be no more than this way, or if they can make it literally for any specific fight, make up any rule they want and make it so for this fight.
Yeah,
so
There's
lame.
Not one set of rules.
So lame, man. What the hell?
So Jordan, your last fight was a catch weight. Is that right? Is that what it's called?
The catch weight, yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting because you were supposed to fight somebody on the undercard that was heavier, and then the catch weight is you both are in order to qualify for this bout to happen, you just it's titled that way because the size
pretty much
difference is
you
there.
You can fight any weight you want. You can fight any way you want. There's weight classes where you can have to fight in that weight class to win a world championship or whatnot per se, but to fight someone, you can have a fight agreed on at any weight, any number.
Okay,
so that's crazy.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Great.
So,
well,
I mean,
guess...
if two guys let's just say a cruiserweight and light heavyweight want to fight each other, that's 15 pounds apart. That's 200 to 175. Okay, we're really good. Now that's happening with David and Zerto, but David's going up the full amount. But maybe he didn't want to. Let's say Ultimate Universe, and they want to agree. Let's fight at 190. 190 is not a weight class. They're just making agreements. Okay, you're at 200, 175. Let's come down to 190 and let's meet there and let's fight there because the fans want to see it. At the end of the day, it's just a fight. Let's agree on
that. Makes sense.
It's not a weight class, so
yeah, that makes sense.
Cool, great. Well, I guess my last question I have for us, a whole panel for if you guys are have any that come to mind, who do you think are our modern day Rockies? If there's even an example of somebody that's that you see like not even like posing necessarily like all the values, but like the quality of person, sort of the same, like a similar story background. Do any names come to mind?
I'd give this guy Jordan Panthen.
Yeah.
I think he's a
I think this guy Jordan Panthen is pretty cool. Yeah, I think he's a pretty good boxer, if I do say so myself. I think Usyk, like,
yeah, Usyk, definitely.
He's a great boxer. I mean, it might be a little bit more of a
humble beginnings. I mean, he's really come up, moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of like a controversial opinion, but I think
you too, Ryan.
Yeah, I think Ryan Garcia, like, I mean, all the shit that he's gone through.
Dominated Rocky, by the way.
Oh gosh, yeah, zero.
Would have pounded his ass.
Usyk would have killed him.
Okay, for the
3 rounds, actually 3 rounds instead of 15.
For the technicality, genuinely, Jordan, I don't really watch a lot of boxing at all, and you're like All-American, the Patriot, that that's about as good as it gets for like an American boxer. So
yeah, that's pretty much all we can ask.
That's what I'm trying to do, bro. I'm trying to bring people to watch, like, not just gonna come watch me because they like the American, not just they like boxing. That's part of it too. To bring it's the same concept of me watching soccer and the World Cup or whatnot. I don't watch soccer. I know how the sport's played, and I will watch a thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to bring people to come. Oh, it's the Patriot fight weekend. We're gonna go watch it. If you don't watch boxing, I'm gonna go watch it. I mean, that's a Super Bowl, really. I mean, how many people? There's so many girls and other people out there who don't watch football but go to the Super Bowl party and watch Super Bowl.
True. Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Well, Netflix. I think Netflix is going to help. Paramount, with what they're doing with Zuffa.
Yeah.
Just having it available. I mean, DAZN, it's not cheap. I'm
thinking
about like those pay-per-views. They're not that cheap anymore. I'm dropping that last pay-per-view is
$60-$70. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can't do that all the time, and then you pay $250 for the subscription, and I love it. But it's worth
it, but it's hard because there's not enough. There's not enough cards.
Accessibility is low. Too,
well, that's the other thing is
like not everybody can pay for that or wants to pay for that.
But the other thing is that like there's not enough cards to actually like.
There's a lot of cards. There's a card about pretty much every weekend, really.
But is it $100 worth?
No. You get free ones with your subscription.
Oh, do you? Okay, that makes sense.
Like that.
Yeah, like Buy Fight.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Free with your subscription. But yes, the boxing scene is always evolving and moving. It's a weird time in boxing.
UFC is terrible, and they're screwing the boxing community over. I'm just gonna say that. Like Jordan, we had a
boxing watch party.
Yeah, we had a boxing watch party probably like 2 or 3 months ago, right?
Oh, this was a while ago. The one you're about to reference, I think.
Was it more than 2 or 3 months ago?
That was like a year ago.
Okay. Anyways, regardless, the timing doesn't matter. We're sitting on the couch watching a boxing match, and I look over, and this dude is on his phone watching a UFC match with it was like
blocking us out, and he was dogging the boxing we were watching.
It was
In
bad.
the house.
It was bad.
Boxing watch party.
It was bad. Like, how much disrespect do you have for boxing, man? Like, holy.
I don't know. People I think I'm into education, and people aren't educated on the sport. Really, I mean, I like MMA. I watch MMA fights. I watch boxing fights. The two different sports. Like, at the end of the day, they are 2 sports. One's not a street fight. One's not. They are two different sports. In a street fight, there's beer bottles and stuff. Like MMA might not work either. All I know in a street fight at a bar or whatnot, what's the first thing to be thrown? It's fists that are being thrown first. So, like, I've been my fair share. I've seen my fair share. It's like fists. You're not stepping back and getting a head kick to do a fist does the right. But again, there's tables, there's chairs, there's beer balls. It's not real. It's like they're both. At the end of the day, they're both sports. They're 2 different sports.
That's true.
And people are watching and they don't know what's going on as part of it. I mean, why does everyone watch football or basketball or baseball, especially those 3? The answer is clearly easy. It's because it's in the school system from when you're a little kid growing up. Everyone, but not everyone, but a lot of young boys play football from time to time once in their life, or basketball or baseball, because in their system and growing up. And they know it. So now when they're an adult and whatnot, they can watch the sport because they know how it's played. First of all, they know what I'm watching here. That's part of it. Boxing was more involved in the things. Because when people first started, oh my gosh, it's a great workout. It's always the same thing. I love it. Like, you know what I mean? You see weird people do boxing, like girly girls do boxing, they love it. Like so that's just that's the time when boxing down in schools.
100%. Yeah, I mean, in schools it was wrestling. There was no boxing.
That's the closest thing.
And wrestling
is not even close to boxing at all.
It's not even.
It's gross, man. You're in a bunch of spandex. You're like grabbing each other in your balls and like
balls and face. Yeah.
And I mean, I like both sports. I'm not here to bash MMA. I mean, I thought about doing MMA once. I mean, I know how to kick. I've done jiu-jitsu. I did wrestle in high school. I have things, and and I'm white. There's MMA. White people ask me, "Are you MMA?" I'm like, no. I was like, I'm from Hawaii is when I started fighting, and I been in a lot of street fights. Street fighting is a thing in Hawaii, and people don't like it. I mean, I'm not going into my whole background, but I've been kicked before. I know how to kick. Like, I'll tell you right now, getting kicked is not fun. Kicking someone wrong is not fun. It hurt. Like, you know what I mean? And plus, I like it simple. It's just me. I like you punch me, I punch you. Boom, let's go. Like, it's just it's old school. The thing about boxing, though, it's not going away because it's solidified. Just like the Rock is like that, it's solidified. Toe to toe, the gentleman's sport, the gentleman's fight game. It's like two guys who are making rules. We're gonna fight each other with fists. And that's what they're great. Like it has like that glimmer to it or whatnot. It's not an elbow. It's just like you punch me, I punch you. It's like a respect right there, and that will never go away. The boxing is evolving, changing. Promotions lose TV deals and whatnot. It's fucking boxing. It's just fucking toxic, bro. I don't like half people that leave the boxing. I don't. My personal morals and aspect of life does not alienate with boxing. When I'm done boxing, who knows? I like maybe coaching. I might say fuck this sport. I'm out of here because unless I don't like in boxing.
Let's go build Legos, man.
But it's hard because I love the sport. I love the fight. So it's like I battle those two things. But that's just boxing. But there's no sport like this, bro. There's so many moving parts. So many things are moving and changing all the time. Fucking shit's crazy, bro.
It's special. It's a very special sport for sure.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I think that's a good way to cap off the stream, Jordan. You did it there. Just wanted to thank you again for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun having you on, and I'm glad. I was curious. I was curious to see what you'd be like, if you'd be like quiet, or if we'd have to like talk too much, or if you'd be like super interested. You got
plenty to say. That was great. I appreciate it. That was awesome.
I get from my mom. I'll talk your ear off. So
no, it's good. That's good.
That's what we want on here.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So yeah, thank you all for joining us too. Great pleasure having you all talking to us in the chat and viewing us. If you liked what we had to say today, please make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, keep your eyes open for the Patriot Jordan Panthen and his future. Sounds like he's going to be back soon, 4 times a year. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lots of action. That's pretty cool. And be sure to join us next Tuesday. Regularly, we are going to start streaming at 9 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday. There's going to be select events where we have to do 10 p.m. because we're watching a 3-hour film. We'll let you know in advance. Next Tuesday, we are streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Random Film Talk is going to be joining us, as well as Kyle Corwith. We're going to be talking about Alien, the original Alien. It's going to be very exciting, so we hope you guys can join us. But until next time, give him the Duke and give him the dog.
Give him the Duke and give him the dog. See y'all.
Peace.
What kind of person are you? Are you the kind that sees signs, sees miracles? Or do you believe that people just get lucky?